Hello. Yes. Hi. We are going to be playing more Wizard101 today, and we're gonna have to put our nose to the grindstone. Because as I've mentioned before, let's not forget our hat this time. We're going to need to really speed through this. So hopefully we can get through Mushu or close to being done with Mushu. Because tomorrow is Pirate 101, and I still need to update my schedule. Yeah, because my back got weirdly messed up yesterday, I didn't actually have much time to repair anything because I ended up taking some really heavy like pain stuff and for sleep. And what ended up happening was I ended up knocking out until only like 30 minutes ago. So I woke up in a rush and got started on this. Although thankfully I've done this enough that at this point I'm pretty used to it. So this is another one of those situations where we're just kind of winging it. But even with that, we shouldn't have too much trouble after all. Mushu's been a breeze, and it's just a matter of actually making sure everything's still set up properly. Like, that power outage knocked out my computer, so I ended up having to reset all of my programs and stuff. And I use this thing called Voice Meter, which is what I use in combination with some stuff from OBS that's native to it in order to make my audio as good as I can. And weirdly enough, every time it resets, even though it saves the settings, I'm not sure why, but it just sounds different. Like every single time like it resets. So I didn't have time to do that, but hopefully the audio still sounds fine. Hopefully it's still balanced well, and hopefully I'm still very audible. What is this? Hold on a second. Ooh, okay. So apparently, yeah, there's a little green button on the settings wheel under chat, and apparently that's new to OBS. I don't know when that got added. I think it must have been added like last night or something then, because I've never seen that before. Yeah. We're just gonna be listening through this as quickly as we can. Well, that's not to say it's gonna be a super hectic stream or anything. You know, it's just Mushu. It's still just Mushu. Like, the cows that live here are going to be able to just graze through it.
You won't like what I'm going to do to you.
So we're just going to enjoy ourselves as much as we can. Yes, if the audio is messed up, please be sure to let me know about that. Although I do think I should still be fully audible, but if it has like some sort of weird static to it, I can fix that, I believe. Yeah. So, yeah, besides that, that's a good time playing Spider-Man last night. We unlocked all the map. And we also were in a good position to start unlocking a lot of those backpacks. I gotta say, with how the exploration in that game is going, I'm not sure how long it's actually gonna be. You know, I was expecting it to be decently long with like a pretty long main quest and stuff. And of course, it also has all those DLCs, but even if it's not...
Shaft of the Jade Scepter.
Yeah, even if it's not super long in terms of exploration, it could still have a very long main quest, but I'm just surprised at how quickly the game is evolving. You know, because it seems to be entirely level based, and so it seems to be expecting the player to be at specific points throughout the game, and so it's ramping up in difficulty rapidly. But yeah, maybe I'm focusing too much on the exploration in that game. You never know what the developer intended experience is, a lot of the time. I mean, I've mentioned this before, but like in this game, I even had an idea for a playthrough of like the developer intended gear, right? Where I would go around and use the best gear that's available relative to when the world was actually made. But the new worlds are completely 100% balanced around the meta, and the developers have even gone on record as saying that that's what they consider when they're designing the health pools and whatever else of the new worlds. Right there, take into consideration how the players are actually handling it, which makes sense, right? What that means is, if the fans are the ones deciding how it works, because the developers decided because that's the thing, right? The developers decide what gear they're going to put into the game, right? But then everyone is using that gear, right? Because it's too overpowered. And then the developers decide that since everyone is using the overpowered gear, right, then they need to balance it around that. It's really cyclical in a weird way. And then the only way to change that, I can't really think of a way to change that. Because that's how basically the entirety of Arc 2 was designed. A lot of it was designed around the idea that you were going to be using Waterworks gear. Even though they also had what you could call the intended gear, which would drop from the different bosses throughout the world, much like they did throughout Dragonspire. So it's really weird. And that game is a similar circumstance where I feel like I'm just not doing it the way the developers intended. But at the same time, I can't really see any other option except to do that. Alright, so we're just gonna have to look around a bit more for these other flowers, because apparently only the one grows in that street area, so we're gonna have to go find the rest of them. Because I don't want to have to wait every single time for it to respawn. What do you have to say, Dinho?
You have done well. This is the shaft of the Jade Scepter. Only one piece remains missing. As for the last piece, I am uncertain of its location. The texts are unclear to me, but I do know that subjects of the Plague Oni live in the huts around this area. Perhaps they have the last piece. Kindly go and search the huts for the remaining piece of the Jade Scepter.
Will do. But yeah. That's the other thing. We didn't get lucky with that fight against Kodo, but I mentioned before, you do get the Ninja Pig spell from him. It would have been funny if we actually managed to get it, but then again, that's a misspell, which is completely useless to us. So, nah. What's the saying I'm trying to think of? Nothing, something, nothing, no, something. That's not the saying. It's replace this something with another word. Yeah, it's no skin off my bones, I think would be another good one I could use. I don't know. I'm not good with a lot of things, especially when I just woke up. My brain power is at only like a fraction of what it should be, and even that's not exceptionally high. It's just gas up there.
Cleanse water, then earth. I understand. Thank you again, living creature.
Oh, cool. We got a nice cherry blossom tree. Alright, I was expecting him to give us another defeat and collect quest, so I was getting ready for that, in case Kodo had a minion like that. Great. More balance. Oh man, if I do a storm hit, this is gonna do like nothing to him. I might just have to go for the sandstorms at this rate. And it's hit through the resist, which is actually not an unviable strategy for balance. I did that a lot during Celestial when I first attempted to do a balance character. Where, because I didn't have even, this pet didn't even exist back then, and I was too early in the game, and I was too ignorant of the way that a lot of the pets were actually designed. I actually didn't know that the various pets that did have access to the spiritual elemental AoEs, but let's go. Based Agent. Wizard101 is probably the best game ever developed in 40 plus years of video gaming. That is a bit of a hot take, but I'm not entirely sure I disagree either. It's definitely got a lot of content for what it is. But yes, welcome. How are you doing? Look, I mean, I love this game. I love it with all my heart, and I will never stop shilling it for free. But the best game in the 40+ years of video gaming? I don't know, actually, let me think. I'm not good at actually thinking of what my top video game would actually be in that circumstance. So for now, I'll agree. Just because it's my main thing right now.
You search the hut and find nothing.
Of course we do. Alright. On to the second hut. Yeah. It was 40 years. Past 40 years. Maybe like the 1980s? So that'd be like after Atari. So any video game after Atari. Has there been a better one made since then? It's going back a long ways. I don't know. I guess we need to make a list of the top 10 games. But then again, I've heard plenty of people say Pirate 101 is better. I mean, heck, even the developers admit it. The quest in Lemuria is apparently named Pirate Combat is better. Which is hilarious. But, you know. Yes. We're gonna be finding that out tomorrow, I guess. The 12 Days of the Spiral will be doing that. Free Pirate 101 membership. Every single day that we can. Except for the weekends. We'll skip over that. Yeah, so heading through the resist isn't actually a bad strategy, it seems like. We'll just have to do that instead. Whoops. Did not mean to enchant that judgment. That was a mistake. Well, you know, it'll be useful to have later. Yes, but if you're still here, Based Agent, what do you like about Wizard101? That makes you say such a bold statement about it being the best in 40+ years. Aish, what should I do here? Should I just go for the Hydra? I'll just go for the Hydra. Yeah. Hydra time. Oh man, I'm getting so many notifications randomly. My bad, I have to keep clicking off the screen. I'm not paying too much attention right now because of it. Oh, I've also got some messages from bots. Nice. Nice. Man, I love meeting bots.
Searching the hut, you find nothing.
That's weird, they're like spamming, messaging me. I'm not sure if you can ban somebody from whispering you. But whatever. We'll just focus on Wizard101 for now. Still. We finished this part of the main quest, but we want to make sure that we actually turn in the side quests in time. Let's see, was there a clam here? And if so, did we get it? This is Cave of Solitude. There's no book. No, okay, and if there was, we already got it. Nice. So it's a card, yep. Any side quests? Okay, weird. It's telling us to talk to Mossback, but wasn't he like over here? In this street? Or is he the same character in another street? I think I vaguely remember something like that. Yeah, he's right here. It's Mossback. Where is Kishibe Village? Is that a separate area? Wait, is it telling us to go to Shoshan Village for Kishibe Village? I'm confused. I'm confused about the geography of this place. Yes, I don't remember Kishibe Village anyways. Alright, how are you? I'm gonna talk to this guy too. Dinhua. Or Dinhua. I forget how you pronounce it. They said it before multiple times. That was yesterday. And that's way too long of a bit of memory for me to hold on to.
You were attacked.
Dinhua.
My sincerest apologies, Wizard. I led you into danger through my error. It is times like these when I realize that my faith is being put to the test. I hesitate to send you into danger again, so let me know if you would like to proceed. There is a pagoda of significance to the Plague Oni near Benhua. We may be able to find information about the whereabouts of the last piece there. If you are willing, go there and tell me what you can find concerning the missing piece of the Jade Scepter.
Got it. Alright. Now we else need to talk to Hikaru. Yep. So we can make this medicine to give to a stupid apprentice who decided to eat nightshade for some reason. Seriously, who does that? Everyone knows nightshade is poisonous. And plus the berries are like pitch black, I'm 99% sure. They look intimidating. I would never stick those things in my mouth. Ever.
Perfect! These delicate pearl orchids can create powerful medicine indeed. They are near priceless. The antidote's almost ready, except for one last ingredient. Dirt that's been freshly dug up by a tainted forest imp. Yes, strange, I know. Our ways have been passed down from generation to generation. Who knows why they work, but work they do. Please fetch me the remaining ingredient. You'll find the imps in the forest.
That is certainly one way to approach it. Although I see that you are in no way a scientific mind. If you're just willing to accept it. But that's really the smart way to go about it. You know? Just don't think about it. Just do it. After all, it's more efficient to just do rather than not do. Entirely unrelated to that, it's Christmas time almost. Of course, we have the 12 days of the spiral coming up, which is sort of an early Christmas present for us, but there is also a lot of other things going on around Christmas. You know, I'm sure lots of people are going to be doing their Christmas streams, and I'm probably going to be doing one too. As for what my Christmas stream will involve, probably a lot of drinking, although I'm not entirely sure if I should actually do a Christmas stream itself. Like on Christmas Day itself, because unlike Thanksgiving, I'll probably actually be spending Christmas with people. And even then, hold on, let's talk to him first.
Thank you. Now pour the dirt into the bubbling pot and we'll soon have an antidote for Binhua. Now that the antidote's finished, we better get it off to Binhua. I assume he's still in the forest where you left him. Make sure he consumes all of it, even the dirt.
Well, you know, it's very reminiscent of Hercules. That's what I remember. You know, make sure he has to drink the last drop, and then because he didn't become a god. That was a weird plot point for that movie, but I guess it makes sense within the bounds of that. Yeah, where's the teleporter to him? So they're gonna take the weird gate. I think it's called like a. You know what? I'm not even gonna venture a guess from my memory based on how terrible my memory is. It's gonna be completely wrong. But yeah, those things have cool names if I remember it correctly. These weird gate things. But yeah, plans for Christmas. I might end up doing a just random day idea Christmas stream, just like, I don't know, maybe like the 17th or something. Close enough to where it's like relative to it. It's still far enough away that you know it's not like an actual Christmas stream. So that way I'm not, you know, having to compete with other people, and also so I can spend the eve and the actual day itself with other people.
Oh, thank you. I thought my stomach was going to explode. Master Yip's remedies are always slow to take, so please tell him I'll come back when I'm better.
Yeah, in regards to that, you know, if anyone's interested in joining me for the Christmas stream, I'll end up making a separate advertisement for that or something like that. When I decide on the day. And it'll probably just be another stream very similar to my Thanksgiving one, where we drink, we listen to some videos, maybe lots of music, you know, just a very nice simple one. Although I have to say, something that's been occurring to me in regards to Christmas was...
You dare to test your might on me? What a mistake.
Yeah, something that's been occurring to me recently is that Christmas food and Thanksgiving food are way too similar, in my opinion. You know, because I mentioned before, I'm kind of burnt out on Thanksgiving food, right? But I mentioned it around that time because, you know, after a while, turkey, you just get bored of it, you know. And I'm gonna be honest, most of the people I've ever met are actually not that good at cooking, right? So it's not like they're actually able to make good Thanksgiving food in the first place. After all, you know, turkey's usually super dry and stuff like that. Not to hate on the people who put in the work for it, but it's just a matter of the fact of it, I think. Hopefully we had ice then, because I just wasn't paying attention when we put up that storm shield. But yeah. In regards to that, it kind of occurred to me that Christmas food is way too similar, although I think it's generally more of like a ham than a turkey thing. I'm actually not too familiar with what a lot of people do for like their Christmas dinners. But in my experience, it's usually just like the same exact foods as Thanksgiving, just ham instead of a turkey, which is kind of disappointing, right? Because while I certainly like a lot of the festive flavors of like the Christmas alcohols, it's a completely different story when you get down to the various side dishes that you're going to be using in order to prevent a severe hangover from that alcohol, you know? You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So you're gonna like solo Tartarus and such? Absolutely. When I get to around that point. Although whether I'll do Tartarus before or after I get my shadow spells, that will depend. You guys, welcome Life 1228. Welcome back. How are you doing? We already soloed Olympus that one time, and that was actually went a little bit easier than I was expecting. Obviously Tartarus is way harder, but same thing with Poseidon too. We'll do our best to solo everything. Although, as I kind of mentioned with Kensington Park, we might. Right now you're taking on Cronus. Ooh. Yeah. Cronus especially, solo as your level 90 life. Yeah, I was about to say. As a... Not just as like a solo life, which is its own thing, but then also taking on Cronus alone at the appropriate level is really difficult, although I speak. So yeah, very good luck with that. But thankfully, you know, I believe Tartarus has the same weird minion thing going on. So if you can just kill the minions, you should be able to respawn in.
A note on the ground reads, "Good work on getting me the headpiece."
Now you should be able to have a much easier time soloing Cronus. Yeah, things like Kensington Park, Barkingham Palace, for me personally, I'm not going to be soloing those for a little bit longer. I'm going to be saving those until I actually get the appropriate tools for it. One go? Oh, yeah. Thing about, you know, I kind of consider the same thing, that getting rid of the minions first is kind of cheating, but then again, what do I care? You know, they're the ones going against me 4-on-1.
I am relieved that you have returned safely and with good news. I was worried that I had sent you into harm's way needlessly. I should not have doubted the great Muda.
Oh, but did you actually manage to get it in one go? Or is that what you meant?
Kanago is a formidable opponent, but we can surprise him in his pagoda. He will not be expecting you to find him. Go there and get the remaining piece of the Jade Scepter from him.
This whole thing about collecting the Jade Scepter is super weird. I'm not entirely sure what it has to do with actually fighting the Plague Oni. Because, you know, before it was like, oh yeah, forget the Emperor's Sword, he'll be like happy, and then he'll be like, fine, and then everything will go back to normal. Then the Jade Scepter just became like its own separate thing. And I don't think they ever actually fully explained it.
Bin will be fine. Thank you, Wizard, for your help. If you ever have need of traditional Mushu medicine, let me help you.
Fortify plus your 42 resist and heals till the power pops run out that they get. Power pips run out that they get. 45 plus 40. That is definitely a good strategy, taking it out. Make sure to go first and have Fortify in hand and stun block what you did. Oh, so you actually managed to get it first go. Congrats. Make sure you go first and have Fortify in hand and stun block what you did. Or is this just your strategy? Yeah, the tanking strategy definitely works. My biggest concern would be how long that would take. You know, because it's like... Tanking the strategy is generally pretty good, but if it lowers your damage a lot... He has like, what, 20k HP still? And I believe his cheat has something to do with feints, although I can't quite remember what that is. Oh wait, is his cheat that you can't attack him without feints? Or traps on him? I think it actually might be something weird like that. I'm gonna look that up really quick. Yeah, it's been a while since I've actually done Cronus. Once I got to a certain point with my max, I was just able to solo him easily. Yeah, so he has 24,000 HP. My biggest concern would be like, oh yeah, he's taking a lot. Ooh, life actually boosts against him. Yeah, it's actually good though, that you're soloing him as a life. So, attacks alone will never hurt. Yeah, okay, so you actually are supposed to put a trap on him. Alright, nice. When Wizard places a trap on him, he'll place a marked stun block on himself. Rounds, he'll place a 40 plus sun trap. Ooh, that sounds intense. And he'll interrupt cast Lord of Night. Well, if that's just your strategy, it seems solid. Because I'm still not entirely sure if you meant that you did it in one go, or if that's your intention to do it in one go. But yeah, your strategy does seem solid. It's just with 24,000 HP. Now that's gonna take a while. So, good luck keeping your sanity throughout it. But do your best. And tell me about it when you're done with it. I want to see how it went. I want to hear about the Cronus solo. Where is he? Actually, I'll just teleport over there. Okay, he's near the fish. This one. This way. The arrow's a little confused, but it's doing its best. Oh, as in one hit kill. You just got hit with a 2.1k sunburn. Yeah, that sounds about right. Wait, you're doing the real-time attempt now? Oh man, that's intense. Yeah, 2.1k sunburn. Oh man. Yeah, in the meantime.
Ha! We are prepared. My little piggies warned me that you are coming, wizard. You will never have the Jade Scepter while I still stand.
Yeah, in the meantime, I'm just gonna be beating up these weak Mushu bosses. Well, you're having the fight of your life. Yeah, even with 60 resist, those guys are gonna be insane. Yeah, because like, Fortify plus your 42, that should be around 60. I think it's like 57. But yeah. Anyways, as I was mentioning, while you're doing that, plans for Christmas. I'll need to figure those out. I'm not sure if I should, not sure entirely what I should do. I kind of played it by ear last time. But I might end up making some sort of, better itinerary for it. They trap like crazy. Yeah, he has that cheat sun trap, and then he also has traps for every other one from his page on the Wizard101 Central. Looks like. Yeah, and he also has all of his weird hip things. Same things that like Lore Master has. Oh, but they actually hit you instead. And the Myth one has Earthquake too. That's painful. Yeah, but for Christmas streams in general, I think it's just gonna be a basic drinking stream. But I'll try to work out a better itinerary. I think what I might do is December killed you, of course. You ran back and had more heals because they're not pulling like you would. If you're going for a one-hit kill, this is gonna sound a bit odd, but honestly, your best strategy is just gonna be going in with no defense. You only use traps since they can Earthquake. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, if you really want that one-hit kill, it sounds like what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to put on max resist gear that you can, and then what you're gonna need to do
Found the headpiece.
is run in and then just go for the kill, right? Where you go for the alpha hit kill. Because in my experience, right, the only issue with playing it defensively a lot of the time, my experience is that it's super duper slow, right? And because it's so slow, the way the game is designed, the enemies get a huge advantage over you. Because there's 4 of them, right? And so you have to be able to kill them as quickly as possible. Long battles of attrition are pretty much never going to go in your favor. Although you're alive, so it's probably a similar situation to death since you can heal yourself better. Pixie heals for 1k. And just got to live and heal to the max pips and they get run out. Yeah, your matches take a minute. Well, you know what? You probably know better than me. I've never actually used a life wizard for very long. I think I leveled up my life wizard to 20 and then I was just like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. Not because it was like super boring or anything, but just because I was like, I just want to play my myth or another school more. But yeah, Pixie heals for 1k. Yeah, it's pretty good. Only other issue I could see with that is if, depending on the amount of cards you're running, it would probably be better if you were also running strategy solid. Yeah. What I'm saying is also, if you're going for the tanking and battle of attrition strategy, what you could do is you get a bounce mastery, and then instead of packing a bunch of different cards, just pack as many reshuffles as you can. So you can have the same strategy, but you can always have the cards you need by discarding all the ones that are useless to you, and then just reshuffling immediately. Luck of the draw. Yeah, the one I'm mentioning is super RNG heavy, right? That's the only issue. You have to do... It's... Battle of attrition, like 1 hour battle or like a 3 hour battle versus really short, like 5-minute battle, but you have to do it like 100 times, right? Because you have to just get that lottery shot with
This
the RNG.
headpiece you retrieved is the most important part of the Jade Scepter. I hope we can repair all of it soon. In ancient times, the Jade Scepter was blessed by the forest spirits. Ancient spirits, they hold sway over the earth, water, and air spirits. We will need the help of these venerable forest spirits. To do so, we must first catch their attention with offerings of Jade Lotus, Tiger Lily, and Pearl Orchid. Please, gather these flowers and bring them back to me.
Yeah, in terms of strategies in this game, there's really a few strategies you can generally go with, and they'll work. But yeah, they are varying levels of RNG. This is really the biggest issue. But yeah, I like this. We're gathering flowers. That's cool. Got to this in Wisteria too, where we were doing that little cultural exchange where we made our little flower bouquet. That's nice. And it's even like the same flowers, I think. Actually, that's a good question. Are they the same flowers? Let's see. You have our house equipped? Yep. I'm pretty sure it's still there. Why wouldn't you just go see it? Yeah, I'm supposed to be doing this as quickly as possible, so that way we can make as much progress in Mushu as we can before Part 101 tomorrow. Hey, you know, this is important too. Gotta see how much thought the developers put into this. Alright, what's up? Are they? Well, there's a Jade Lotus, there's a Tiger Lily, there's that, but there's also these two pink flowers. So yeah, they did use the same flowers. That's awesome. That's such a nice little detail, though I have no idea what these pink flowers are. Well, there's a pink one and more like a purplish one. Ooh, that's such a nice attention to detail. Yeah. Yeah, that's nice. That's class. It's classy, yeah. Anyways, moving on. Back to this, where we're, I don't know, building a staff or something. I don't know, I wasn't paying too much attention.
Wonderful. What a fragrant display. The forest spirits will be pleased. Now gather up the flowers, along with the 3 pieces of the Jade Scepter, and place them all into the brazier at the center of the cave. Hopefully the forest spirits will hear your prayers. I'll be praying for you too, young wizard. May you go there and return with the Jade Scepter intact.
So like, what are these forest spirits? If it's just like a staff, why can't we rebuild it? Is it just like magic? And even if it is magic, why can't we do it? We're a wizard. We have magic powers and control over nature.
You receive the Jade Scepter.
Well, you know what? Whatever strategy works, it works. You know, we could do any number of things to get this thing back.
Merciful Muda! I thought perhaps the Jade Scepter would be lost from us forever, but here it is. I see that I must learn to quiet my doubts. With the Jade Scepter, we can now begin to restore our shrines. Please, carry the Jade Scepter back to Sun Hing and tell him about all you've done here.
Alright, I will be sure to do that. Near the entrance, I think that's the one we want. The quest arrow is still a little bit confused, but it's working on it. I have no idea where Kishibe Village is. So we'll need to keep an eye out on the map when we get there, so we can find out where these extra side quests are. Although that might be the next area, so don't worry too much about it, I guess. Oh yeah, Kishibe Village is the one on the other side. And the Shirataki Temple. Is there anything in Kishibe Village like the oysters? There's an oyster. Is there a book? There is a book too. Okay. So we'll need to find both of those two. Oh yeah, so I think this guy is actually the balance recipe vendor. Yeah, so I mentioned this before. But crafted gear is kind of like the intended gear that the developers meant for you to have. And so you can kind of see that the gear that the developers intend you to have, it fucking sucks in comparison. The EQ they do is good because it gets rid of all the traps they place on me. I love it when the Minotaur, because they use up like 4 traps at small first hit. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually good for you. But I was mentioning this before, but I'm not looking forward to getting Hydra because when you're using that as like your main hit, it takes up so many traps to actually use it well. So you have to just rely on Spectral Blast, which can get shielded through. So which is why like during Celestia, as a balance, I just hit through the resist.
You
with
have
Judgment.
the Jade Scepter. Thank the Muda.
But yeah,
Now,
double hits are
take the
weird
Jade
like that.
Scepter and talk to Tulakwo at the Kashibi village. He's the caretaker of our holy shrines. If we want to weaken the Plague Oni, we need to restore the shrines to their former glory. Tulakwo is the one to contact about such a thing.
Yeah, that's a fun thing about fighting those minions is a lot of the time whenever they do pack those spells, if you plan around it right, usually those spells end up just helping you out a little bit. Although you still have all those sun traps on you, so depending on what hit he uses, he can still do a lot of damage to you, I think. But yeah. Because he can still place those sun traps on you every round, yeah. So, what, does he even have sun hits actually? I don't see any on his page. Hold on. I don't know, I'll just focus on Mushu. Yeah, glad to hear it's going well. And you're using those weird bits about myth to your advantage. Yeah, myth before the spell audit was a very bizarre school to use. Like double hits and earthquakes are kind of flawed in that way. Although I guess they were like built that way for balance purposes. I don't know. Yeah, I prefer the new mechanic of just removing a shield and then hitting, which is like the replacement for the double hit. But yeah, for the enemies though, that will help a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, so I was mentioning this. 8 damage is the expected amount of damage you're supposed to have, and so is 2 accuracy about that. But beyond that, no defense, no incoming healing, no power pip chance on your crafted gear and stuff. And crafted gear is kind of like the basic level of like the bare minimum that you're supposed to be.
Wizard, please help. A disease has ravaged my village. My herbal remedies help none, and I fear I too will fall to this wicked disease.
At least that's the case for Arc 1 and Arc 2, for the most part, where the crafted gear is supposed to be like the bare minimum level of strength you're supposed to be at, in terms of the intended stuff the developers gave you.
Please collect skin samples from diseased villagers and bring them to me. This is no ordinary disease. Only strong earth spirit wisdom will save us. Please, I beg you. I'm feeling faint already.
Yeah, you know, the developers complain about, you know, you using a bunch of... you playing the game in a way they didn't intend to, and then they give you this thing. You know, they're like, oh yeah, you know, you're supposed to be a little bit more strategic in your fights. You know, you're supposed to heal, you're supposed to use shields and stuff. And they just give you this thing that can kill anything super fast, and it's just way overpowered. And they're like, no, you're supposed to be playing it different. And then because people started using the Sky Iron Hosta and stuff throughout the entire game, they ended up having to balance everything around it, and it got this weird circle of power creep.
Water spirits spreading disease. Collect samples from them. Bring to me to save Earth spirits from disease.
Yeah, one of my favorite things about soloing hard dungeons like that is that's one of the only times you can actually use strategy and have it be like somewhat acceptable. Because, you know, I mentioned this before with Grizzleheim, where with the 4 Jotun fight and the let's see the one with the ravens, the 4 ravens at once, which is like one of the hardest fights in the game probably relative to the level. Spectral minion, that's the only time where I'll ever actually get any sort of usage out of a minion in my experience. Right, same thing with shields and other stuff. It's only whenever you go way out of your way to fight content that's just way too hard for one wizard, like Darkmoor solo or something, they can really use those strategies. Yeah, you like to feel challenged? Yeah. That's the thing. It's one of the rare opportunities where there's actually enough challenge to give you an access to those sorts of... Isn't this one of the infected dudes? Oh, are these... Oh, they're mobs. Okay. Oh no, they're balance. Okay. Sure, why not? Yeah, it's a rare bit of challenge in this game. Although that's not to say that the alpha hit strategy isn't challenging. There's definitely some close ones, especially in Arc 3, because that's how they balanced the game around, assuming you'd be doing it. In my experience, whenever I tried to play a little bit more strategically, especially on my Myth, Myth doesn't really have access to a lot of good healing. It doesn't have access to a lot of good utility spells like that, outside of just screwing the enemy over by removing their blades and stuff, or stunning them. Which most bosses are immune to stunning anyways. In my experience, especially on a Myth, it was kind of impossible for me to do anything but blade up and kill. Holy crap, you needed to heal, so you discarded a random TC and got to regenerate and crit on it with a life bubble. Awesome. Yeah. That is what I like about the challenging fights, though. You know, you get to have moments like that. Yeah, so I have to ask, are you winning? Did you manage to kill the minions yet? What's going on? Although I don't want to distract you too much. You know, it sounds like it's going pretty intense. If it's rare moments like that, generally speaking. Otherwise, you just do what I'm doing right now. You just blade and then hit. And then even on the hard bosses with like super difficult cheats, you just blade and then hit. And that's still enough to handle everything. They all still alive? Oof. Oh, right, because you're going for the one-hit kill. As a Life Wizard, I'm guessing you're going for Forest Lord, unless there's a better one I'm forgetting about. He's getting trapped up. Convert and Life Wizard. On. Convert on Life Wizard. Alright. Yeah, because you're going for that one-hit kill, I forgot. Let's see. I believe that Forest Lord is actually the best one. Because Forest Lord is like super overpowered for what it is. Yep, Forest Lord. Yep, sounds about right. Yeah, I was something that was always super weird. Is that Forest Lord does more damage than schools that are supposed to do more damage per pip. Right? It's super overpowered relative to its level. Right, like even Power Nova I think only does like 640, and that was post buff. Let's see, did we get all 4? We did. Gonna get out of here before we get pulled into another mob fight then. Yeah, it's the weird situation when Life Wizard's doing way more damage than a balance. Although I have to say, it's good for them. Life really needed the buff. Spinosaur is garbage. I agree.
There seems to be a strange ichor on the skin samples you brought me. We will have to study this further. This ichor is like the stuff that you can collect from the diseased water spirits. Mossback can tell you more about it.
Oh, here we go.
You truly have become a master of balance. I have a new spell for you to add to your repertoire.
Yeah, well, because of those weird Grandmaster buffs, it's actually like 3 different spells at once. So that's gonna be cool. Let's go grab those really quick. It's gonna be Hydra, and I think we're gonna be getting that Elemental Golem, and then something else. Yeah, Spinosaur, I think 7709 U5EW. Oh, what is that? Is it like a friend code or something? Oops. I went back on the thing because I kept spamming X.
This boat goes to the Cracker. If the sergeant has already given you permission, simply climb aboard and it will take you to the other island.
I really need to teleport straight to the balance school. You know, just from like the entrance hall. The little entrance spiral door area. He's using Sub-Serpent. Sun Serpent. Oh, right, that one. I forget that spell exists sometimes. Okay, yeah, so we're getting Iron Curse. Awesome. It's stupid and useless, but we'll hold on to that. Elemental Golem. And Hydra. All three at once. He's using Sun Servant 892331, but you live, and yeah, to check your stats. Sure, why not? We'll check it out. Riding the Scales. Oh, right, these are the Roshambo Pvp spells. So, I have no idea what these are supposed to mean. It's kind of funny because when I first read these, I was like, this is like reading hieroglyphs. Because what do these even mean? Heart in a green bubble, enemy for bomb enemy. Fist magnifying glass for heart bubble magnifying glass. What does that even mean? And magnifying glass enemy 2+ bubble fist and 2 times gambit. I have no idea why they called it a gambit either. I don't know, it's such a weird thing. Yeah, sure. Let's check out your stats. Let's see. I think you add them here. Yeah, okay. Counters tower shields equals useless. I have no idea which one specifically said it counters tower shields, but welcome, Nas. Yes, welcome. N-A-Nas. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. The Sensen. 9. U. 5. E-W. You said giant AoE is useless? Oh, Iron Curse is useless? Oh, yeah. Iron Curse is useless. Counters tower shields equals useless. I mean, yeah, but here's the thing. It counters tower shields, right? But it's a similar situation with, I mean, I guess if you're talking about PvP, this is the thing. I'm a PvE only player, so I only think about spells in terms of how good they are against enemies. So it does low damage. It's at overtime, which means you can't really use traps with it. It counters tower shields, but then it will only do a very low amount of damage. There's only like 3 situations I could actually think of where this might actually be helpful in a PvE sense. Yeah, that's the thing. Every single spell that they added in this weird buff is meant specifically for PvP players, which is something that I and a lot of other people were actually complaining about when they actually came out the first time. You can buff with blades, that is true, but it's also balance. So the blades that we have access to right now, unless we get access to a lot of sharpens through item cards, TCs, stuff like that. And since I'm using Snappy Griffin, I don't have access to the sharpen blades. I'm in a weird situation where I could only blade up once or twice. So it's not going to do much against enemies that have several thousand HP. That was something I was actually mentioning when it came to this playthrough. When we get the shadow spells, we're going to be using those exclusively. Which is why it's going to be so much different from the Dark Nova strategy, which involves stacking as much damage as you can. But this one's going to be a lot more defensive. It's one thing to hit really hard against an enemy, because Dark Nova only really works. The strategy only really works against enemies that only have like 11,000 HP and there's only one of them. So the strategy is going to be a lot different for us whenever we're actually using it. I need to go back to my teleporter. I already said that though. Yeah. In a PvE context, this isn't going to be that good because it does 355 base, which is more than a Sandstorm, granted. But Sandstorm can also kill an enemy immediately in comparison. You should have streamed and recorded this fight, having clutch moments here. Yeah, it sounds like it's going down really cool. Yeah, it sounds like it's a pretty intense fight. I don't know. Maybe you can record the next attempt, assuming you don't get your what's it called? Blade of the Felled Titan. That's what it's called. Yeah.
Thank you, Wizard. We'll need the Jade Scepter to restore our holy shrines. You must seek out the Shrine Guardians of mind, body, and spirit. Only the Jade Scepter can restore the shrines to their former spiritual state.
Yeah, you see, another thing about Iron Giant is that I actually think that if it were an elemental hit, it would actually be really good, even if it was still the same exact thing. But if it only did like elemental or spiritual damage, I think it would actually be really good for balance in that case. But as it is right now, it's basically just an on-school hit that's only really good for countering tower shields in PvP. And being used well against a few enemies that use Dark Sentinel. Or Shadow Sentinel, whichever the one is called. The one that makes them absorb damage from everyone else.
Start with Kin Pao, the
Blade of
Shrine
what?
Guardian of the Body Shrine. While the Plague Oni has devastated
Oh, Blade of the Felt Titan.
it cannot take away our faith.
Blade of the Felt Titan, it's what drops from Cronus. I assume that's what you were fighting him to begin with for. It's a universal level 90 thing. It's really good. It gives like 15 damage, I think, some critical block, power put chance, and some other stuff. Yeah, let me just, yeah, it gives 15 critical block, 15 damage, 17 outgoing healing, 17 power pip chance, and health and mana. It's really good for its level. Let's just check your stats really quick. What are you working with? So you have 3 armor piercing and 94% power pip. Okay, that's pretty good actually. Critical rating is only 98, although that depends on it. Let's see, block rating is higher than I was expecting. Wait, I just learned something. You were fighting him for the quest? Oh, okay. Yeah, I completely forgot they even give you a quest for it. I did him so many times, I just blew through the quest first time. So let's see, you have the 85 life, 27 resist. Oh, you meant 42 with the bubble up. Okay, or the aura up. I thought you meant you had 42 base. Accuracy 16%. Yeah, only 42 is actually not going to be enough to tank that well. And that's probably why you got hit for that 2000 Sunbird, yeah. Let's see, Skyron Hosta, yep. Garnet Bear Claw, that's probably your best option actually, until you get it. You have the wrong pet on. Yeah, I was gonna comment on that after everything else, that's why I skipped over it. Let's see. Sealy Wizard's Torque. That's a good one. Alpha and Omega Ring. Yeah, the Blade of the Felt Titan. No, you're training a pet. Yeah, I understand. I've done the same thing lots of times. Yeah, the Alpha and Omega Ring. Yeah, that's the counterpart to the Blade of the Felt Titan. That one drops some Gladiator Dimachorus, and Cronus drops the Blade of the Felt Titan. They're both the universal level 90 Athament Ring. And just a basic deck with a accuracy enchant. Okay. Yeah. Do you have a max wizard? Because I was gonna say, if you do, Vigilant Gerillo in the little River of Frozen Tears section of Polaris drops triangle sockets that give you access to blades, which until you hit max level, which is when you'll want power pip chance more than anything for your triangle sockets, you could also give yourself life blades with that too, instead of accuracy. Since you already have 90%, with 16% you're at 106% base accuracy. But yeah. Oh, you're about to kill? Congratulations. Nice work. It sounds like it was super clutch. Also, I love your stitch. I like it. Pretty good. Yeah. You look kind of like, actually, no, you don't. You don't look too much like him. You need a straw hat for that. I was gonna say, with the lightning bolt, you look kind of like that, Raiden from Mortal Kombat. But no, you need a different hat for that. Ting EXE. Hello, welcome. Welcome, how are you doing? I'm not sure what that is, but it's Ting EXE. Welcome.
The Ico from Water Spirit. Get some and bring to kindly Liu.
Oh, cool. We managed to get 2 quests with these guys. Good thing we talked to him first. Let's see, any other ones? Oh, Ancient Burial Grounds. Okay, talk to this guy. Yes. Quarter the hit, so you had to dip, but you're back. Okay, welcome back. Yeah, so you actually managed to pull it off? Congratulations. Yeah, it sounds like it went pretty intense. Yeah, so far I'd say that the only thing I would do personally would be like use a different triangle slot thing if you have something better, but that would be about it. And also obviously change the pet. But yeah, other than that, I like how you're set up right now. You killed Cronus, however the minions lived. Oh, I see, you didn't trap them all, I guess. Yeah, I feel like that would have probably added a few minutes to the fight. Yeah, you see, that's another advantage to killing the minions first, in my strategy. Is that if they don't come back, then you don't have to worry about them. Because if you kill Cronus and die to the minions, then Cronus comes back. But if you kill the minions and then die to Cronus, the minions don't come back. You need help? Oh no, this is actually a solo playthrough, but I appreciate the offer.
The shrine?
Or are you talking to
Yes.
Life?
Yes, it must be purified. Why do you ask?
You almost just died from them? Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
Please help me. In my feverish state, I cannot channel the energies of the body to purify the shrine. It's the mushrooms. They cause disease. Deal with the mushrooms before they spread the disease to everyone. Quickly, before you get infected too.
Alright, I'll get right on that. I don't want to get sick from you. Although, not to blame you or anything, it sounds like that's a bad deal all around. Now, so where are these diseased water spirits? I need to find these guys too. No, they're all the way in the other direction though. We also need to remember to put more treasure cards back in. Oh man, I am almost out of monstrous DCs. Oh, I forgot to do that. At like 200 health, use rebirth. Guess what? You're stunned. Oh. That's, well, hopefully, RNG is on your side. And they kind of, 2 of the minions lived with the 82 health. Are you back in your wand hits, or do you have another AoE? Yeah, but can I add you? I like to keep my friends list clear, just so that way, you know. Yeah, but I suppose you can add me. Or I can add you. You can post here a true friend code in the chat. I already added Life, so I could check out his stats. But yeah, I'm not going to play with any other people on this account, just so you know in advance. This is going to be exclusively a solo account.
Thank you. I can already feel the noxious effects going away. Although I haven't fully recovered, I feel we must act. The sooner the shrine is purified, the sooner the plague Oni will be driven out.
2K YouTube. My piano. Check out. Hitting. You won? Nice.
Use the Jade Scepter on the shrine of the body, while I use my strength to channel energy into the shrine.
Well, you managed to do it. Did you get lucky enough to get it on your first try? The Blade of the Fell Titan? Oh, nice. Decent stitch. Ooh. You've already done Lemuria. Take it. 28 armor piercing, lots of pip conversion. Very high power pip chance. Very low shadow pip rating though. Critical rating decent. Yeah. Let's see. 157. Resistance. 20. Yes. You're very well built. Let's see. Oh wow. Yeah. Very well built. Shad rating is a glitch? Oh really? I didn't know about that, but that sounds about right. You got nothing? Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm sorry to hear that, Life. You worked really hard. Real is 139. Oh yeah. Okay. In that case, then yes. You're built very well. Let's see. Merciless balance boots. Where are these from? Hold on a second. Never heard of these ones. So let's give you the prisms, item stats, find where item, hit this item. It's currently unavailable. Huh? Alright, the pet is on. Yeah, these are really cool boots though. Virtuous Light Brigade armor. Dragoon's Balanced Helm. Dragoon. So, you're not doing the 3-piece set for the extra 4 bounce damage? From Final Boss boots. Oh, okay. Weird. So why does it say it's unavailable? It should tell you then. Although, then again, it's probably just glitched. No King's Isle. So, you're not running the Dragoon of Fame, and you're not running anything else. Kind of interesting. New boot stat is more damage than set bonus. Oh, okay. Good to see. So, gotta keep that in mind then. I actually don't know anything about Lemuria. I've never gone through it. I'm actually going to be saving it for when I actually reach there naturally on this account. Yes, very nice, very nice. You look very well built. Your deck is the only thing that doesn't look like it's the absolute best. So yes, very impressive. Oh, armor piercing. You got your universal resist. Yes, yeah. Very nice, very nice. Kind of jealous, actually. Although, yeah, you even got the mighty jewel. I still haven't managed to grind one out for this thing. Those things are very difficult to get. Alright, let's see what this pet looks like. Really quick. While we go through here. Mega Kookaburra. Okay, universal resist, life damage, more life damage, and a crit rating. Yeah, crit rating is a bit of a spoiler, but that's nice. Yeah, so both of you are built pretty well. Obviously, I know nothing about the level 150 ones, but I also appreciate the stitches, too. Yes, Furious Felix, hello, welcome. Yes, how are you doing today? In the meantime, we need to do this quest, too. After all, we only have this one stream. 2. It would fail with crit. Yeah, I can see that. That's unfortunate. But yeah, you see a fellow balance whiz? Yes, but we are actually more of a shadow whiz in the making. This is just the lead up to where we get our shadow spells. Because once we get the shadow spells, it'll be exclusively that. We are built for universal. Currently, we have all of the extra stuff set up. So as you can see, this is mostly universal talents. I have both of the universal damage. I also have all of the various bits of gear, and I also even have the battle narwhal for that extra 2. So yeah. You wanted the damage, then I'd use agility or whatever to boost the max universal resistance of the pet. Mighty, I believe, is always better than agility. You wanted the damage, then you'd use agility or whatever to boost the max universal resistance. Yeah, both affect it, but if you want the damage, then I believe Mighty is always better for the damage talents in that case. Which is why I was jealous of the Mighty gem. They're super difficult to actually get from farming, but they're very powerful. Or they're from crafting, I believe, is the only way to get it.
This is a good day for the Muda.
So you pick Bounce since it's more universal damage. I believe a Death could potentially do it just as well due to the fact that they get access to basically much better stuff inherently. They get access to the double bounce blade in the Dark Pact spell. Yeah. What about the agility one? Agility, I believe, is better for crit exclusively. If you're going for a full crit build, which I don't believe anybody does normally, but if you want to do it, then yeah, I believe agility is better for that. But for damage and resist pets, Mighty is always better. But yeah, I picked Balance because it has more blades, it has more potential for blade stacking, trap stacking, but then it also gets access to reshuffle for free, which I believe might actually be required for some of the longer strategies I'm thinking of, for boss fights that are going to be very, very difficult.
The shrine is once again full of energy. Please let Tulakwo know we have succeeded. I will stay here and recover my strength.
But yeah, in that case, this is basically just the I'm basically like halfway or just under halfway to getting access to my actual spells, so the real playthrough can actually begin. This is just the this is the build-up. Beric doing well in the soloist Death. There is no way to do badly on a solo with Death. Death is Death is unfair. I hate that. I hate it so much. Even soloing Darkmoor. Yeah. Ferric is also really good. That was actually something I said a lot earlier on, but I don't think anybody was there for that yet. Is that this is basically just going to be a worse version of Ferric's Balance on a Budget, because he goes a lot more into depth about what he's doing, why he's doing it, and more importantly, how you can do it yourself. Whereas me, I'm just building up to the shadow spells at this point. And since he also did the Balance on a Budget playthrough, yeah, he's working on that too. So yeah, you should also check out Ferric too when he's doing that, if you don't. And you're interested in his streams. He live streams too. I've watched some of his and they're very good also. He's also made all those pet guides too, which helped out a lot of people. So he's a good part of the community, I think. But yeah. Right now we just need to fight, like, hopefully we only need to do like 2 battles with these guys. Because if we can get all of the stuff we need from 2 of them, that would be great. Okay, cool. We got 2 of the 4, and we got 2 of the 3 Ichor. Perfect. Love these buffed down drop rates. Oh, thank you very much for the follow, Desho2091. Welcome. Yes, thank you very much for the follow. Yeah, in terms of my Shadow Mage playthrough, I picked Balance for a few reasons, but I believe Death would be capable of it, and presumably any school could do it, but not any school could do it as well as those 2. I think Life would maybe be the 3rd one, but that's just because they can keep themselves alive a little bit better. But they would have to supplement with way more item cards, treasure cards, etc. So yeah. That's the thing. Can't believe I was doing that fight with like 25 resist. I can't believe it. Right, when you said you had the 42 plus the aura, I was a little bit confused, but I was like, you know, maybe you just had a bunch of traps on you. What fire bars were doing 319. Yeah, when you said the 2.1k Sunbird, I was a bit confused, but I was like, no, that sounds about right, because you probably had like 50 traps on you. But no, with that in mind, it makes way more sense now. Because he should have been around 60 resist at that point. Yeah, but congratulations, you managed to beat it without it anyways. Which just goes to show you that for all this min-maxing talk that I'm spouting out, it's really not necessary.
Yes, this is it. I'm sure I can use this Ichor to make a healing solution to help the infected villages. You have done well. Take this healing salve and use it on the villages. You will find the weakened villages along the road. We must hurry.
Yeah, you did have a lot of traps on you. Yeah, that tracks. Yeah, you had the luck. Yeah, but that just goes to show you, you know, this game, it's not as hard as I'm making it out to be sometimes. You know, you really don't need the perfect stats every single time. You can make max, but, you know, I've seen people solo all the way into Arc 2 with having, like, less stats than what you get on just, like, a few, like, 2 pieces of the Zeus gear. And they still manage to solo all the way up into Zafaria and other stuff, so, you know, I've seen some weird people use strategies that still somehow manage to work. So this game isn't so difficult that you actually need to min-max every single little thing.
Thank you, living creature.
Worked hard for that pet, and mad I didn't have it in use. Yeah, I'm actually gonna say, like, besides the crit fail, that actually is a really good pet. Yeah, because besides the single crit talent, this is actually still a really good pet. You just have to keep hatching with it until you get that one little, what's that called? Pain Giver, I believe is what the talent is called. Yeah, and then you'll have the perfect pet. Yeah, Pain Giver. Does summoning a minion still count as solo? Like from your spells? Not Crown Shop. Oh, you mean the Henchman? Yeah, Henchman wouldn't count as solo. I guess minions would count as solo, yeah. Because otherwise, where would that leave Myth? That's like Myth's entire thing. Hypothetically. Even though nobody uses them anyways. Like, yeah. Minions count as solo. Because they're not really outside help, they're part of your arsenal. And it's still you doing it solo, I think, at least. You know, that would be kind of like... Yeah, because you know what it would be like? It would be like if me saying my shadow spells wouldn't count as solo because they give me blades and traps and other things. So if that didn't count as solo, then I'm not entirely sure what I'd even call this playthrough at that point. But yeah, they can give me things too, so as long as it's part of my inherent arsenal, I'll just say that it's I'll say that it's a solo. I'll say that it counts, please. Let's not be so specific here.
Your work makes the great Muda smile. But let us not rejoice just yet. The first shrine is only the beginning.
Yeah, I believe the henchmen wouldn't count as solo, because, I mean, they're not only pay to win, but they're also pretty overpowered, from what I've heard. I've never spent a single crowd on those. Cool. Yeah.
Now, continue our journey by bringing the Jade Scepter to Wu Ping, the guardian of the Shrine of the Mind.
Yeah, any minion you summon will usually only survive like 1 turn, maybe 2, if they're lucky. Or if you do it at the right time, you may be able to get like up to 5 turns out of them, but they usually have like such a little amount of health, they get one shot by everything anyways. So, just summon him and give Guardian Spirit and such. Oh.
I feel much better now, thank you.
I mean, that's certainly a strategy, especially for your myth. I've actually always been kind of curious about how their build would work.
I feel much better now, thank you.
So they're all just gonna say the same exact thing, in the same intonation and everything. Because Myth gets access to all those minion buff spells in Krakatopia from the secret shop person.
I feel much better
and you
now.
can give them
Thank you.
minus 70% shields, you can give them plus 50% blades, you know, and I've always wondered what would happen if you actually did focus entirely on
I feel much better now. Thank you.
Oh, your life one is 1500. He's the Avalon Beaver thing. Oh yeah, that's like the... I believe that would be like one of the max level ones, unless I'm misremembering, because I'm pretty sure they stopped giving minions after Arc 2 for every school. Although I might be misremembering that.
I feel much better now. Thank you.
Yeah, even with the 1500 health,
I feel
mean,
much better now.
That's still enough to be one-shot turn 1 by anything in like Arc 3. Because they'll just AoE and kill it immediately.
I feel much better now. Thank you.
So you'd have to like plan it out when they have no pips. And even then, within like 2 or 3 turns, they'll have enough pips to one-shot it again. And that's my biggest issue with the minions. That they're so fragile. Like, in order to make a minion super good, they would have to have like 11,000 HP, and that's the reason why they made Monstrology in the first place, pretty much, as far as I can tell.
You have cured us. Mere words cannot express our gratitude.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Another good one, besides Ferric, is I do not remember the name of his channel actually, but he does Monstrology battles. He's like the Monstrology guy. Yeah, hold on. I'll need to look him up really quick. Because he does like the bosses versus the bosses. And it's pretty cool. Let me see, can I find one of his battle? Oh yeah, it's GW2 Caleb, that's his name. He does a lot of Monstrology stuff, but he actually points out a lot of ways that Monstrology is actually a little bit better than you'd think. Should be Ferric too. No, it's GW2 Caleb, unless Ferric does it too. It's no, I'll just throw his channel down in the chat. Yeah, it's that guy. He does a lot of the... He does a lot of Monstrology related stuff. That's pretty much exclusively what he does. I find those videos really fascinating, though, because... Monstrology generally is really difficult to use, but it's basically the replacement for minions, since they messed them up so bad. Because minions are so fragile and weak, you really need to get the bosses like Grandfather Spider or something that have like 30,000 HP and like shadow hits. The regular minions don't really cut it, and I believe that's why they made it a thing in the first place. And it's also why Myth can summon 3 of them at a time. Every other school can only summon 1, but they basically made it, I believe, to replace Myth's minions. So Myth could actually have something, hypothetically, to summon and to help them. And have them be actually helpful.
How I wish someone would send me a real challenge.
Oh, that's neat. That's actually like one of the only things I can actually remember this ever actually being a thing, where it just says ambush instead of like a character name, and then it just has a picture of the last guy we fought. That's neat. That's actually really cool. Again, lots of weird Arc 1 stuff that just never really got repeated later in the game. Alright, we'll throw up a single blade, because while we can probably kill them with just an enchanted sandstorm, we'll just deal. Let's make short kills. I believe that's the best way to handle this. Yeah, Mushu still has to have like my 3rd favorite world combat theme. So great. Yeah, the bamboo wears on me after a while, but I actually do like this world. But still, Dragonspire is so much cooler. Can't wait to get there more than anything. Oh, I cut off the dance. Oh no. We're supposed to check those out. Well, you know what? We can actually just check it out here and see it instead. So I believe this one was called Breakin'? Right, we need to be off our mount for it. It is pretty neat that they actually added this where you can make yourself dance differently after... What? Why isn't it working? There we go. You know what? I think I'll keep this one as my victory dance. I like the little spins it does. Alright, so it looks like I did all the side quests for this area too. Yeah. Overall though, there are lots of things in this game that could have been implemented better, but it does seem like they're going to be doing their best with the upcoming gear audit at some point in 2022, so keep your butts ready for that.
Wuping has been taken? Never fear. The great Muda will prevail.
Like, who even knows what they're going to do for that thing?
Warlord Katamori's men must have taken Wuping. They seek to undermine our will, but as fate would have it, we have a wizard helping us. You will help, won't you? If Katsumori is involved, then it is likely that Wuping is being held by Katsumori's henchman, Ayuchi, and his men.
Ayuchi. That name. Something about that name, it's triggering something in the deepest depths of my memory. I believe it's something else from the trivia, although I cannot remember it. I think it's a quote? Yeah, so it's this thing. So we need to head to the butterfly. Yeah, it's something. I think it's something like, ooh, who says this? Or Ayuchi says this? From the trivia. It's been so long since I've actually done the trivia, so I don't quite remember. Ah, but it's right on the... It's itching my brain. It's making me think. It's triggering deep PTSD memories of doing trivia every single day for like months straight. I want to forget, but I can't. I don't know, I guess we'll walk in, we'll see, and if it triggers anything, we'll know immediately.
Wizard? You will know the meaning of the word pain after we battle.
Yep, that was it. He was asking who said that quote, and the answer is Ayuchi. That's what it was. Aw. My poor dog is looking at me, wanting to play. Yeah. Normally I take her out on a walk or something before I start streaming. When I started so quickly today, I didn't have time for anything like that. So, I'll have to play with her later. See, if you hear her messing around in the background, she's just picking up her toys and stuff. They should have people who go solo always have first move. Exactly. That was the #1 thing I was saying that they could do to make solo just a lot more consistent. Because they were talking about adding difficulty modes in that PvE roundtable. Like different modes of difficulty. And they could do that where they could have it be where you don't have to fight 4 bosses at once. But what they could also do is they could just make it so that if you're soloing, you always go first. And that would make runs a lot more consistent. I think. And it would make a lot of them way more possible. That was the #1 thing. There's lots of things to say about soloing in this game. Like, I mentioned this before, but with the galleries and stuff, I'm not even entirely sure how we would solo that with a shadow. Sure.
Merciful Muda, if you hadn't come, I don't know how long they would have kept me. Give me a moment, then seek me out at the Shrine of the Mind.
Specifically, Ghost Dog has to be one of the most unfair things in existence. Right? Specifically for soloing. Even with a full team, Ghost Dog is very difficult. But trying to fight him in the galleries with 3 other bosses at once makes it just insane. That is not the right enemy you're looking for. I'm trying to see what Ghost Dog's cheats actually are. We're gonna have to figure out the strategy later, but because the galleries will be so soon after we unlock them, I'm not sure if I'll still be using my turquoise eagle gear for it. You have it when you are queued in a group, you go first and extra loot, so that's a good start. You have it when you're queued in a group, you go first and extra loot, so that's a good start. I never heard of that. You mean whenever you're playing in co-op? Or whenever you're like playing with other wizards? Or in like team up or something? Because I've never heard of that. My experience, even with team up, you don't go there. Is that was something they said during the PvE roundtable? I didn't actually watch it. I just read the Spark Notes version. Explain, please. Because in my knowledge, there is no way to make sure you go first besides just fleeing and returning constantly. Yeah, not being able to go first is a lot of the reasons why using shields and heals and stuff in my experience doesn't really work out. Yeah, the new update. If you're in a group, you go first and have a better chance of getting better loot. Really? I did not know that. Oh, I mean like one of those adventuring parties things. Yeah, I don't actually know how to find it. Let's see. Oh, in a group like this or in those adventuring parties? Because I do not remember how to find those. They added them. Check it out in what's new tab under adventure and group tabs. You use it too. Huh. I'll have to check it out then. Yeah, I had no idea about that. I haven't been paying too much attention to the updates. I've just been playing. Yeah. Oh, social. No, this is how you find the adventure party stuff. Yeah, okay. Just add them to your group. Huh. So if I were to add you to a group, I would always go first in every fight, even if you're not there, or only if you're there, for instance. I don't know, let's try it, I guess. Open group slot. Once 4 people at group are on a sigil, it works. Oh, okay, so it's only if we're all playing together then, I guess. Now you have to have 4? Oh, okay. And then I'll just figure out this group. I'll just leave it open for now. But yeah. Yeah, that's a bit of a shame. They need to make that kind of stuff for solo players, too.
Wizard, come in. Welcome. I feel my mind clearing. Yes. I can still channel the energy into the shrine. Quick, use the Jade Scepter on the shrine so that we can restore the shrine to purity.
Yeah, they've always been very insistent you're supposed to be playing with other people. Although, I like soloing in this game, not just because occasionally it gives more challenge, but also because the way the game's written. And I like paying attention to the writing a lot of the time, or, you know, just experiencing it. It really implies that you're supposed to be going through it alone, you know, because it's just your character, right, in the story. But then having 4 other people there would make it a bit weird, you know, or 3 other people there. It would just be weird from a writing perspective. So that's why I like to solo. Yeah, if they really do want you to play with 3 other people for some reason. I'm not sure if that's because it actually makes them more money that way. Because in my experience, every time I've ever had like a full party, it usually ends with the entire group just dissolving after like a few months. And then hey, you get super sad when you log on a long time later and you just see their models replaced with mannequins because it's been months since they last logged on. It's always super sad.
I can feel the water spirits and I can channel them.
Yeah, so I'm not entirely sure if it actually makes them more money though, you know?
My beloved shrine is safe and I am once again surrounded by its purity. Let Tulakwo know that we have succeeded. The shrine has been restored to its former beauty.
Because if you're soloing everything, you'd be much more likely to buy pay-to-win gear, right? You'd be much more likely to min-max. Whereas if you're in a group, you can get away with pretty much anything, right? You don't really need that much consistency unless you're fighting like the absolute hardest enemies in the game. So, in my experience, right, I imagine it would make them less money. When you're a noob on your fire when you first started, you only used gear bought from bundles and thought it was the best there was, and didn't want to play unless I had the bundle gear ready. Oof. 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 That's a lot of money to spend. I've mentioned this before. Never buy... I'm hoping you mean like the $40 like card bundles that give you like houses and stuff, because if you mean these bundles, I would cry. These things are such rip-offs. But yeah, that's an easy mistake to make. I will be, to be fair, right? The wand that these ones give is actually pretty good, right? Like this gear is actually like okay. Like the starter fire conical, starter fire boots, and the starter fire wand especially gives you 10 fire damage. That's actually really good. Yep, $4 and $29 gear, the bundle gear. Yeah, okay. Yeah, these ones are also like $30 or even like $40, and they suck. They're awful, right? But yeah, the Starfire wand specifically gives 10 damage, which means that this is actually hypothetically like the best gear. With also the accuracy too, especially for fire. It's actually like the only one that it's actually arguable that it's like the best gear up until Zeus gear. But yeah, that's a lot of money to spend. Speaking of, there's a lot of stuff like that here too. Let me see if I can find it. I just went over it, but I can't see it again. It was a universal set. Here it is. Like this thing. Right, the biggest issue with gear like this, like that's actually a pretty good tunic now that I'm actually looking at it. Like a robe, that's actually pretty good. Yeah, so because we want universal damage, right? This one gives, it's level 95, right? And it also gives a lot of stuff. It's also pay to win though. So I'm also going to be using free to play gear whenever possible. Yeah, something like this would actually be pretty good for my character. because it gives universal resist, it gives critical block, and it also gives a lot of universal damage. He left Pagoda because it always looked the best and gave me critical back when it was OP. Oh yeah. But still, it's so much money. Yeah, but this is what I was talking about for things like this. Right, for Dark Nova, the Dwarven Bundle Boots were very popular because they gave you access to, I think it was 34 universal damage. But here's the thing. Something like this would actually be better for my character than this one. Because despite being, like, double the overall damage, it only gives you critical, which is useless because shadow creatures cannot critical. It gives you power pip chance, which is useless because power pip chance does not work. It doesn't matter with shadow spells. And the shadow rating is good. But yeah, that's the thing. You'd only have 140 critical block and 14 defense, which isn't enough to cut it. So for my gear, I'm actually going to be focusing entirely on gear that gives access to critical block and resist, with the damage being the third stat I focus on for this strategy. Because something like Dark Nova, which is all basically like the epitome of alpha hitting itself, only really works against single targets that have like 11,000 HP.
Wizard, you are indeed a godsend. The Great Muda must be looking after you.
But yeah, the bundle gear is actually pretty good, right? I'm not gonna lie that the pay to win gear is generally actually okay for what it is. And it's actually usually pretty overpowered if you set it up correctly. It's just a matter of
Jingsu is the guardian of the remaining shrine. Bring him the Jade Scepter, and together you will purify the spirit shrine.
Yeah, the biggest issue I have with it is just how much money it actually costs. I think I actually at one point spent like close to $500 on this game, and it was just for a bunch of random nonsense. I also want to went around comparing the bundles, see which one was best to buy, so it had some form of brain power. Yeah, it's a smart thing to do at least. There actually is some bundle gear. Funnily enough, the actual best gear, as far as I can tell, for this character. Yeah, he fell for this game. Same. I had it too when I had my first job ever. I spent like close to $500 on this game. So I'm not, you know, I'm not saying I'm pure of it either. Right, but even then it wasn't like for pay to win stuff. It was just, I bought a lot of packs and I bought a lot of things because I just didn't know at the time that it was possible to get a lot of the stuff for free. Like Deer Night, I remember spending like 40, 60 bucks on packs alone, just so I could get that.
To have left the shrine.
See, I'm not immune to it either, but yeah, thankfully I learned my lesson from that. But yeah, as far as I can tell for this character, funnily enough, the best gear is actually one of those $40 bundles, but it would only be if they actually updated it to the newest level of stats, which would be either the Arcane Builder bundle, or it would be the Aztecan Warrior bundle. I believe is what it's called. It's like the Dinosaur bundle. Yeah, it's the Dinosaur one. Yeah, if they released either one of those ones with updated stats, it would be the best gear for this character, because it would give you everything you'd need.
The treaties with the foreigners angered some warlords, starts this book. Two small clans, the Khatan and Manju, mastered magic through the spiral. They seized control and imprisoned the Emperor in the Jade Palace. Their rule was hard on the people of Mushu. Thanks to the works of pious monks, the teachings of the Muda offered comfort and spread amongst the people of Mushu.
Hey, now go around trying to help noobs as much as possible. I do that too, occasionally, on my alternate max wizards and stuff. I do that occasionally. You know, I made sure to pay it forward too. Yeah, it's always a nice thing to do. I'm also really glad that the Wizard101 community is kind of like that. The biggest thing I do with this character specifically is that this is free to hatch with. If anyone ever wants to hatch with my Snappy Griffin, they can go ahead, like at any time. And I've done it quite a few times already. I'd say this thing is probably hatched with like over like 60 other ones already, because everyone wants a Snappy Griffin at some point. Like, you can't go on the subreddit like one day without somebody saying, looking for a snappy griffin.
It doesn't surprise me that Cheng Su is not at his shrine. He always retained a warrior spirit within him, despite his years of training as a monk. Perhaps he left to join the fight.
With, like, advice, tips, tricks, and such? Same. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good pet. Yeah. With advice, yeah, I like to give it off too. I like to occasionally give tips during downtime.
Spirit shrine. I know of a warrior named Seshu Nedekai. His spirit is strong enough to tame the temperamental spirits, yet humble and kind enough to aid the needy. You have been to battle. Perhaps you can convince him that serving as a shrine guardian is the best way to serve his most benevolent majesty, the Emperor.
Yeah, my guys have actually been lucky enough to have some complete noobs to the game come into my streams, and I've been able to give them some tips and stuff. So I always appreciate being able to do that too. Although, I actually am the one who needs tips if I was ever going to do some of the other things. Like PvP. I still have no idea, especially with this new Roshambo spells, what it would even look like at this point. I actually do kind of want to use this. Just like once.
Have you come to join the battle? I could use reinforcements. I can't be a monk. I'm a samurai fighting for the glory of His Imperial Majesty. Did you see how many enemies are out there? Then you know what I'm up against. Help me by defeating some defoulers.
Yeah, so actually I'm gonna try this Iron Curse out. And just kind of talk about what you're doing. Yeah, I'm PvP noob. Yeah, same. It seems to be a funny thing about Wizard101 is that you're either a PvP player or you're a PvE player, and there doesn't seem to be much crossover. I've never met or even heard of somebody who plays the game in like a way that allows them to go through all of this stuff solo and then also PvP consistently at the same time. It's either you go in just for whatever you need from it, and that's it, or you just never touch it as a PvE player. And for PvP players, it's like, there's that one guy I remember who talked about getting stuck at the paywall, so he decided to become a PvP player, just grind up to like level 60 or something off of just the Kraken alone, which was hilarious. But also very nice. You know, PvP players have a lot of dedication, but frankly, I don't get the appeal. But anyways, let's see how much damage this Iron Curse can do without an enchant on it. Also, as a double hit, I'm pretty sure it would have split the enchant anyways. That's the weird thing about the overtimes. Yep, so 128 damage. Yeah, so let's see if this actually manages to kill them. Yeah, so the other issue with being in overtime is that they can also triage it off, and they can do various other things. So we'll just pass how long it takes to kill them. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. You wouldn't be able to use traps with it because of how it works, and you also wouldn't be able to do much with it. So yeah, it'll take all 3 turns to kill them with it. It'll take all 3 turns of the overtime. This is why I'm not a super big fan of multiple hits in a turn. And it's usually only whenever you're actually fighting something that will absorb the damage of the other enemies that you want it, because then it accumulates. And that's why they designed Renegade Druid and they designed the Vigor or whatever with that in mind. So you could actually get some sort of usage out of it. It's the same deal with the Hydra spell. I mean, I like this spell conceptually because I actually do like the idea of overtimes, and I like the idea of double hits. They're neat, but they're not good, really. Actually, I'll show off Hydra too, because I was mentioning this before. So we'll just use Hex and an Elemental Blade to show it off. So here we have our blades. Yeah, I'm just kind of showing off right now why I don't really particularly like hits that do multiple ones. In my experience, they're just not good. Because they'll eat up traps like crazy. And especially whenever you're soloing, you're going to want to trap stack a lot. Whenever you can, at least. Some enemies, like, weirdly enough, around, like, end of Arc 2, late Arc, like, early Arc 3, went in the direction of having it where they didn't allow feints. And then they kind of got rid of that, because I guess feint was, at the time, the most overpowered thing you could really do. In retrospect, but yeah. Nowadays, even, you'd want to get back to trap stacking with feints and stuff. So, with that in mind, right, if feint's the most overpowered thing up through Arc 2, you're going to want to be able to use it. So yeah, here's sort of the case I'm talking about. So, blades, what they do is that they allow you to increase the damage of the hit as it's going out, whereas you'll see here, the damage of the hit, this is for any newbies who may be watching, or also so I can just talk about this. Yeah. The issue I have with them, and it's the same issue I have with Iron Curse, is that blades make it so that the entire attack is stronger, which is what they were saying before. Which is what Nanas was saying before. Yeah, but the issue with it is that the traps only increase the damage of the very first hit. They actually don't increase the damage of the entire attack. So if you wanted to be able to use them, right, efficiently, you would have to throw down 3 individual feints, which means you'd be putting 3 30% traps on yourself in a row on like every single balance boss, which is not a good idea. That'll get you killed very quickly. The amount of times that I could actually think where a spell like Hydra would actually be helpful would be very minimal. Because, funnily enough, if you're going to be trap stacking, it's easier just to hit through the resist than it is to go out of your way to build a balance armament. Not balance armaments. What it's called? It's something like that. It's the one that gives you the sharpened blade item cards and stuff. And that is what you would otherwise use in order to be able to use something like that efficiently. Right, so you could use as many blades as possible. Whereas if you just did the same thing, but just use as many feints as you could, like treasure cards and item cards, you would get the same effect if you just hit through the resist. Like the same amount of damage overall.
You're not bad
which is
in a fight.
not a good sign.
His Imperial Majesty could use someone like you within the Imperial Court. Tell Tula Quo I'm honored by his request, but I'm a warrior at heart. You'll have to find someone else to be the Shrine Guardian.
Yeah. When it comes down to the PvP versus PvE crowd, that's one of the biggest issues is, you know, when they release spells that would only hypothetically be good in PvP. Because PvP is just a different beast than PvE. Because depending on the tourneys and stuff, how they're set up, obviously, they'll change slightly. But one-on-one PvP is basically an entirely different game than how this would work, both in how your stats would be set up, what strategies could be used, etc.
Seshu Nedekai's mind has not yet opened up to possibility. Perhaps we can show him there are other equally honorable ways to serve His Imperial Majesty. This year's harvest was stolen by infected villagers. Please, get this food back and take it to Seshu as a gift.
Ah yes, the classic way to win anybody over, which is to just bribe them with food. That's the easiest way to win over anything, actually, pretty much. Both animals and people. If you want them to like you, just give them food. Not a bad plan. Speaking of food, I was talking about this way earlier. We got Christmas food, because Christmas is coming up soon. I want to figure out what I'm actually going to eat this year. Because in terms of what you normally eat on Christmas, I think it'd be like ham, maybe some kind of like rolls or something. You know, I want to try something new for Christmas, especially if I'm going to be doing that sort of stream. I want to be able to eat lots of nice and fancy food and talk about it. Obviously, there's going to be things like, oh, and we fizzled. Yeah, obviously there's going to be plenty of alcohol involved if I end up doing that Christmas stream. But it's also going to hopefully have lots of tasty food. So I want to figure out something that's both festive and also unique, relatively speaking. So it's not just Thanksgiving, but with ham instead of turkey, which is, like I said before, what I think most Christmas dinners devolve down into, when you get down to it. Christmas and Thanksgiving are actually very similar. It's just like Christmas has snow and you give gifts too. But they're basically the same holiday if you actually think about it. I don't know, random thoughts. But it's holiday, it's the holiday season. And we also want to listen to plenty of Christmas music too. Although I'm not sure if that would trigger anybody with retail, who's doing like retail work or something. Because obviously, I've heard plenty of people complain about the fact that they just listen to it non-stop whenever they're in their stores. Anyways, we just need to keep our nose to the grindstone in terms of getting Mushu done. This talking is nice, but it does make progress a bit slow. Although, yeah, because we can do a lot of talking about this sort of stuff tomorrow, which I will remind everyone again, thanks to King's Isle finally reviving Pirate 101, we'll be giving out the 12 Days of the Spiral as a free membership basically, and I will be doing Pirate 101 instead of Wizard 101 for that period of time, because I never played it before, which I think would be cool, because Wizard 101 or Pirate 101 for like a decade at this point has had people die hard defending it, insisting that no, it actually is better and it deserves to be updated. And I'm not sure if it was just a meme or if it's like genuine and it is like genuinely that good, but if it lives up to the hype, I guess we will find out then.
It is hard to come by in these hard times. Thank you, Wizard.
Seshu pauses, sighing resignedly, and shakes his head.
Oh, but in other King's Isle news, King's Isle has posted more job openings, by the way. And one of them is for a Java website developer, which I don't know about you, but to me, hopefully, that sounds like they'll finally be updating the Flash games again. Because obviously Flash is dead. So if they focus on redeveloping their websites with the games, maybe, just maybe, with Pirate 101 coming back, we can get Rub Guardian back too, which would be awesome. Which way does the free membership start again? It runs out on the 13th. Well, lucky you, it actually starts tomorrow. The free membership starts on the 9th, so, and it runs until the 21st. So yeah, lucky you, you actually get like another, basically, week. Although, it actually does cut into yours, so I guess it isn't too lucky. So you actually only get like a week and a day of free membership. But yeah,
I can't accept this.
12 Days of the Spiral starts on the 9th.
Everybody else would go hungry. The food should be given to the villagers. I wouldn't want the villagers to miss out on this food. Bring the food back to Tula Quo and tell him to distribute it like always.
What an honorable guy. Now turning down the free food. And yeah, in retrospect, actually, if it's cutting into your current membership, that's not too lucky. But thankfully you'll have some time after that. Of course, I pay for an entire year, so it's Yeah, I'm gonna have membership to the entire thing, which is why I'm doing Pirate 101 instead. Because I'm only gonna have the 12 days worth of membership then. Whereas with Wizard 101, I still have more membership until like, I think February is when my resets.
So, Seshu wants to give the food to the villagers. He is kind and considerate. To go back and tell Seshu that a man in the village desires to defend his family, but has no money for a sword. Ask Seshu if he can obtain a sword for this man.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be sure to take full advantage of that. Also, KingsIsle usually does something on their website where they'll give out some free stuff during the 12 days of the spiral, so you'll have to be sure to check into that every day too. Because I think sometimes they even give out like free crowns occasionally on it, but you have to actually claim it from the website.
No sword? This right and honorable man should have a sword to defend his family. We'll fix that. I'll look for a sword here, but I know someone who's bound to have a good sword. That rogue, Kyoto, stole weapons from the blacksmith. Defeat Kyoto, and we're certain to find a good sword for this honorable villager.
Kyoto. His name is pronounced weird, built without spelled. It looks like it should be spelled Kyuto. Like Kai-uto? But it's spelled like Kyoto. Or it's pronounced Kyoto, based on how he said it. I don't know. Japanese is hard. And different. It's different from anything I'm used to, at least.
These spirits will help me vanquish you from this land.
Alright, let's do this. What do you got, Kyoto? Well, apparently, you have quite a bit of health. So, this is going to be interesting, to say the least. And a tower shield, too. Yeah, this might take a little while. Well, I guess what I can do... Double Sandstorm and then go into Judgment? Seems like it could be an easy strategy. Or maybe just Sandstorm into it. I don't know if they'll put a weakness on me. Because if they do, I don't think the Sandstorm will kill that guy. The Storm Minion, that is. Okay, so, yeah, we're going to need to figure out this Judgment. Okay, so with the Blade, plus an enchant, this should kill him. Unless he tower shields again, which is very possible. It's weird, because tower shields cost 0 pips. I'm still not entirely sure if the enemies themselves actually have their own decks programmed in. I believe that is how it works, but I'm not too familiar with the programming of it. Somebody is here. I will BRB. Let me just go check that out really quick. It might just be a delivery. I don't know. I am back. Yeah, sorry that was sort of an extended BRB. It wasn't anything though. What actually happened was when I got up, I kind of realized how super hungry I was. And so it kind of occurred to me that I didn't eat anything before I started this stream. I've already been going for 2 hours, so I just grabbed some quick snacks too. In the meantime, so we can continue with this and not be like super tired throughout it. Anyways. Yeah, so eventually we're gonna hit the point where I was gonna have like really bad hunger pains or something. Well, my body adjusted to having to not eat for a while. So yeah, basically I'm having breakfast right now, which is basically just a protein bar. So I get right back to this. Yeah, with that, there's some food in my stomach at least. We can probably keep going for, I don't know, maybe another 2 hours or so.
No weapons? A shame, as I could only find this rusty sword around here. A man defending his family shouldn't have to use a rusty sword. Listen, here's what we'll do. I'm a trained fighter, so I can make do with the rusty one. Take my good sword and give it to the good villager.
This Seishu guy is really cool. He's basically like the most honorable guy that we've met so far. I really like this guy.
Seishu Nedekai seems thoughtful and generous. I think he's more than proven himself to be the perfect shrine guardian. See if you can convince him now.
Those were tests? I guess I never thought of myself as a monk before. But if, as you say, this task is truly important to His Imperial Majesty, then I'm all right. Let's get to it. You say you have the Jade Scepter? Okay. I just hope everything goes as planned. I'll meet you at the Shrine of the Spirit.
Alright, now we're getting some stuff moving. Yeah, sorry I keep taking short, like, little breaks of silence. I'm still eating this. I'll be done in like a few minutes. Or like maybe one. Actually, not to exaggerate that too much.
Use the Jade Scepter on the shrine and I'll try channeling the spirits. Here goes.
Alright, here goes.
Wow, what a rush! I could feel those spirits swirling all around. Tula Quo was very wise to think of me as a shrine guardian. Please give him my thanks and tell him the shrine is pure again.
This teleporter could actually probably take me back there immediately. Yeah, good on that guy for helping out so much, though. It's nice to see. People in Wizard101 are so helpful and agreeable.
Indeed, this is wonderful news. Go and tell Sun Hing of Shosan Village of your work here, how you help to purify our shrines and weaken the plague Oni. In the years to come, our ballad makers will sing of you, the Wizard of Wizard City, and tell of your adventures in Mushu. Until then, please accept this humble monk's appreciation.
You know, I find it kind of interesting that the game always sort of mentions you as being from Wizard City, and then they reveal later on as sort of like the big bombshell twist is that you're actually from Earth when they name drop it, right? Even though that's what happens at the start. I mean, I guess these guys wouldn't have any reason to know you're from Earth. Right, but still. I do find it kind of funny that our character being from Wizard101, I mean from Wizard City, is not very known. Oh. Living lovely today. Oh, thank you very much for the raid. I see you're coming in. Yes, thank you. Although, I don't think I actually set up the raid thing, or it's not working. That's a bit weird. Yes, but thank you. Welcome, welcome. Let me... shout out... Blink. Today. Okay. Oh, cool. You were playing Wizard101 too. Yes, welcome. In the meantime, we're just playing this. Yeah, we're just making our way through Mushu. Way short. Yes, hi. I suppose since you're all new here, I am Wheelie Lolo. And what I am doing, yes, it's how you pronounce it, by the way. Yes, what I'm doing is I'm making my way through Mushu, because as the title says, this is actually going to be when I make it to Chrysalis Part 2, I will get access to the shadow spells, and from then on out, I will be using those exclusively as my main source of damage. In the meantime, though, we're just building up in a way that's sort of like just a worse version of Ferrix Balance on a budget playthrough. Oh, thank you very much for the follow, Yuki Bloodborne Gaming. Yes, hello. Ooh, that is a very nice emote. Oh yeah, I really like that.
Finally, you restored the holy shrines. I was getting worried here. So the shrines have been restored, which means the Oni has been weakened. I'd say it's time to take down the plague Oni for good.
Yes, well, welcome, welcome. I hope you're all having a good time. How did your Wizard101 stream go? Oh wow, the death one has a little emote. It's also nice. I also saw another really good idea for some Wizard101 related emotes, one of which was of that little advertisement of the girl wizard holding the card, and instead it was an Uno reverse card. So there's lots of potential there that's been untapped for Wizard101 emotes, I think.
Jinho, my superior, is at the Shirataki Temple. He'll tell you what to do.
Alright, and here we are, another dungeon pop-up.
Huh? You think you can defeat me in my own dungeon? We shall see.
I'm like 99% sure that those don't happen in Dragonspire. But why did they happen all the way up until Mushu? Why are there so many of these? I completely forgot that happened so often. But yes, here we are, finally, Shirataki Temple. Yeah, so this was actually talking about, this is where we're going to be able to get access to the samurai spell from the first boss in here. So anytime we want to get an attempt at getting it, we'll have to run all the way through here and fight Shoji. So we'll have to walk all the way down here. And hopefully we get it on our first attempt. Because if we did, that would be pretty cool. And he's in this tower over here. So no teleporters, none of that. The walk builds character though, I think. So does the attempt.
You seek a way through that gate? Forget your quest, wizard. Here you will only feel the sting of a Ronin blade.
Of course he's a balance and so is his little guy. So that's unfortunate. This is gonna be a little bit painful. But thankfully, that's nothing that the Lornaine Hydra could solve. Man, I love this pet. I love the Snappy Griffin so much. And the fact that you can breed it, or hatch it with non-pay-to-win pets for free, basically. You know, because if this was locked behind actually having the, what's it called? The Sinbad bundle exclusively, that would be stupid. Thankfully, lots of people are super helpful. And of course, as I mentioned before, I'm always willing to lend my Snappy Griffin. Okay. Well, he's still not dead, but thankfully Judgment can handle him just fine, even with Persist. And that's what I would say if it actually went through. Yeah, come on, hit me with your best shot. This is gonna do nothing. This is gonna do nothing. Okay, 284 wasn't exactly nothing, but you know, it wasn't that much. There's a tiny little baby sliver. And let's see some real damage on this. Okay, we actually managed to get it this time. I don't know why it fizzles so much. It seems like every single time I actually get close to it.
I've gotten the key from him.
And no spell. Well, you know what? We can't win them all. No Ninja Pig's first try. No Samurai first try. But you know what? That's fine. Because you wouldn't expect to get it first try anyways. Let's see. How are we doing in terms of these? Man, I really need to go and buy some more of those. I completely forgot to do any sort of gold grinding for it. Okay, where is the quest for? I think this is the correct one. Anything down that way? No, I don't think there is. Unless there's the clam down there. Oh, the oyster. The oyster. That's named after that weird New York band, after I googled it. Yeah, that reference is not very clear. You know, if they were like musical clams, or they were like, you know, like those like little what are they called? Like clappers or something? They're like clamshells, but you hit them together and they're like tied together on a string and then make like a fast thing. They're used in like Spanish music. If you were finding them and they were like that, and then it was called Blue Oyster Cult, it would make a little bit more sense because it was a reference to music. And the oyster's in here. So yeah, this entire area was a little bit of a waste of time. But, you know, it's about the journey, I guess. Still, where is the oyster then? Because I completely forgot in that case. I need to look it up again. Where is my phone? It is... It's on me. So I guess I'll have to Google it on my computer. Wait, Booster just give out 77 gold? That's actually a lot more than I was expecting. I would have been expecting like, I don't know, 20 something? Yeah, I thought it only started to get over like 50 within like Arc 3 and such. And then it just jumped straight to like 100. Then again, I guess I never really opened chests during like late Arc 1 or Arc 2. Because they give you so little gold and so little valuable stuff that I never really saw a purpose to it. Also, I think that there's a unique fish that you can only catch in here, but you can also catch it in the bundle house. Yeah, for a lot of those fishing quests, fun little tip is that, like for the Mushu or the Dragonspire fishing quests, they have some really rare ones that you can only get access to from some really specific dungeons. Or you can get them from the bundle houses, because those are super pay to win. Oh, Mossback is here with a little side quest.
Bring diseased water spirit samples to Wavebringer. If he not corrupted, Wavebringer cleanse samples.
Oh nice, we're actually getting a little continuation of this.
You'll find the plague only in the palace beyond this gate. You must hurry. It is weakened now. I can hear it wailing in distress. If you succeed, find Sun Hing. May the Muda look after you. We will now purify the water. The temple ahead of you is where you must go. But first we must dispatch Haru. He holds the gate key. Defeat Haru and open the temple gate.
That was a bit of a weird way to do that. He like sent us off and then he immediately told us what to do again. Okay, so where are we headed? Haru is over here. Is there a teleporter near there? There is, but I already left behind the teleporter help. The map is so helpful. It's a shame I always forget to use it. And those are some nice looking battle axes. I didn't realize they actually had those. Yeah, so this is what I was also talking about before. As you can see, this is literally just the same palace as before, but retextured red. But retextured from red to green. Yeah, Mushu really does seem like, when you actually break down the areas, where they were running out of development for the initial release.
So you need a key to get through the gate? You'll never take mine.
Let's see what we got. Yep, we're all good. Okay. Thankfully this horror guy shouldn't be too much trouble. He's just a regular myth boss. Oh, that's weird. He's at the very end of the thing. That's the second time I've seen that happen in Mushu. Oh. Uh-oh, emergency. I spilled my drink. Hold on, give me a second. Just gotta wipe it up really quick. Don't kill me, Haru. Although I doubt you actually could. You'd probably only be able to do like half of my health bar at most, even if I was AFK. Okay, judgment. That should kill him. Or not. And it might actually just do barely too little, because I didn't enchant it. Yep, just barely. If that is 46 too little? Yeah, 47. Well. Let's see what you got. Go on. Consider this a free hit. Give me the best shot. Okay, Humunga Frog, not bad. I really like that they added the hats. That's a nice touch. Yep, only 244 damage. That's weak sauce, Haru. You're nothing. Although, okay, this will take another turn. Yeah, you ain't nothing, Haru. I'm trying to think about what kind of dish I would turn him into. But actually, he looks kind of gross, if I'm being honest. He looks like he'd be poisonous. He's got like that bright green coloration, you know, which is what you use in nature to tell people that you're poisonous. So it's got the reds and the blues.
You collect the key.
Doesn't look super tasty, if I'm being honest. Ooh, Haru's rational deck. That's cool. Yeah. The decks here are useless, but I actually do find it really funny to go back and look at the best gear, quote unquote, from the initial release of Wizard101, because you can see that people used to put a lot of effort into manually finding all of that old information before there were a lot of data miners and stuff for that. Well, they would tell you actively where to grind out which boss, and they would even try to calculate the drop rates. Like one person had like a super in-depth one too, where they talked about how they were fighting each individual boss like 100 times on each character, and they tried to calculate the actual rate of it. There's lots of weird nostalgic little bits for me with Wizard101 like that. Also, I'm pretty sure Wavebringer is already corrupted, because I'm pretty sure he's the guy we fight to get in there. Unless he isn't? Where is he? Wavebringer? I think you're supposed to be right here. Let's talk to this guy first. Maybe that'll spot him in.
Now to summon Wavebringer.
Oh, okay, yeah.
This water spirit guards the entrance to the river temple. Use the Jade Scepter on the 4 shrines to summon Wavebringer.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say. I was very concerned that it just broken. Wait, what? The 4 shrines. I completely forgot about this. Hold on, where are they? Oh man, they're super far away. Let's see. They're the butterfly one. And it is this way. Take your time, quest arrow. You know, he gets a little bit confused. The quest arrow. Whenever we teleport into a new location, it's usually pointing in the wrong direction. But it's fine. It's doing its best. Man, I completely forgot this was even part of this temple. I'm pretty sure after you beat it, it's because you can just go straight to the boss and bypass all the barriers. It's one of the few times...
Pathetic fool. I will crush you where you stand.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is one of like the few dungeons where it actually doesn't reset the entire instance. Like, it puts all the obstacles back in your way, but I'm pretty sure every time you come through it later, you can just bypass everything. Which is pretty cool. Makes grinding it out a little bit easier. Yeah, the Husk combat theme is my #1 favorite. Dragon's Spire is #2. This one would have to be #3 in terms of combat themes. Wizard101 has a great soundtrack. Lots of it are underrated. I feel like it doesn't get talked about enough. Whoever produces it does a great job on it, though. Or composes it, I guess would be the proper term. In my mind, people need to give a little bit more respect. Maybe that's what I should do. Instead of just Christmas music, if I do a Christmas stream, I should also just blast some of the different great Wizard101 soundtracks. Some of the best ones that it has. Like the Flotsam theme, or... You gonna say anything? Okay, no. Yeah, you know, I think this one's the winner. I think Breakin' is the winner in terms of winning dance animations. I feel like that's gonna be it.
In just a few moments, you will regret this one.
I'm sorry to cut off the stream like that. I've been a bit quiet, and it's because my dog is staring at me again. We're not playing. Not right now. Yeah, sorry about that. Oh, maybe I should. But no, we'll have to continue for now. I will. Hi there. Hi. We're not playing with the rope. Okay. But yeah, not much happening right now anyways. Just a lot of downtime as we beat up a bunch of various random cows. And water spirits and pigs. And various other things. No herons though, which is a bit weird. Hopefully Pirate 101 explains that, because I'm pretty sure that those big tall bird guys like Mr. Lincoln are supposed to be from Mushu.
You will shame yourself by appearing in front of me.
Oh wow, this guy's an actual boss. Look at you, Mr. Zaneki. Pretty cool, pretty cool. I feel bad, but then again, I can play anytime. But once stream is over, I guess I can pick this up a bit later. You know, I could always stream this again later at night, or I could also play Wizard101 after Pirate 101, I guess. Not sure how I want to maximize it out, because lately I've been playing Spider-Man after every Wizard101 stream. Recently. That was the intention, at least. But if we're going to be doing this instead, I might just end up finishing Mushu after the first Pirate 101 stream, and then maybe, I don't know, we'll have to see. Yeah, we're going to keep going for at least another hour or so. I feel like 4 hours is probably the limit, though. He's been going for 2.5 already. Yes. But thank you to everyone who's been joining me today. It's been very nice being able to progress through Mushu again. Alright, so there's only one left. And if that one had a boss, what if this one has 2 bosses? That'd be a way to end it. I'm kind of wondering, who are these guys? Who was Zaneki? What is his lore? Why was he just hiding out in a tower? What gave him the rank of boss? Is he just really strong? That's actually a good question. Right?
Hey, you're not supposed to be in here.
That's actually a really good question. What qualifies you to be a boss in the Wizard101 universe? Because it seems like random animals can be bosses too, but they're just like randomly stronger than the rest of their kind. So is that guy just stronger than your average goat peasant? Or was he like actually doing something with it? Because I'm pretty sure this is just like a normal village. Right, it's even called a village. Oh, it's a Shirataki Temple, so it's like a village outside of a temple. That is a very confusing part of the Wizard101 universe, is understanding that stuff. Because there probably is an explanation, but it's probably something stupid. Like they ate, like, I don't know, boss fruits or something. Or they ate insert brand name cereal here. If King's Isle ever managed to get a sponsorship. You know, now I'm thinking about that, that'd actually be hilarious. That would, like, be on the level of the Selena Gomez quest in terms of stupidity. But it would actually be hilarious and great if the explanation for what makes a person a boss in the Wizard101 universe was they got, like, I don't know, a sponsorship with Wheaties or something, and the boss just ate Wheaties growing up. I'm tired. That was a stupid idea. But yes, I haven't had my morning coffee. Or I guess at this point it'd be mid-afternoon coffee. Or early afternoon? Early evening? I'm not too familiar with times. I'm pretty sure 6 is like the evening, so it's like before the evening, but it's late afternoon. I guess it would be late afternoon in that case. It's 4. It's 4 p.m. I'm not sure what time that qualifies as in the day. I'm not a very cultured person. I don't use fancy names for things. Like, I don't even know what the difference between a dinner and a supper is. Or a banquet or a buffet. I don't know the differences. Okay, here
You
it
will
is.
sleep soundly when I am done with you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Wavebringer. You know, I was having some trouble sleeping last night. I messed up my back yesterday. And so, I ended up sleeping way too late because of it. I was up until like 6 a.m. So I would appreciate it if you, the totally not corrupted dude, because Mossback insisted you weren't, could help me get some sleep at night. That'd be great. Although, I'm kind of concerned how you would actually do that. Is it like the Kool-Aid Man where I have to like drink part of you or something? I don't know, you're looking kind of... Not saying you look corrupted, you look kind of gross, if I'm being honest. You know, not to be rude, but you don't look the best. You know who was a weird comedian who lots of people hate, but I mean, I always found him decently funny. But that was always one of my favorite jokes, was Dane Cook and his stupid skit about the... is that what it's called? Is it called a skit if it's stand-up comedy? Because I'm pretty sure skits are like when you are actually acting it out, right? It's like a video, or like a short scene is a skit. But as a continued joke, a skit. What's the term for that? Anyways, he had one about the Kool-Aid Man, and it always stuck out with me because when you think about it, yeah, it would be very disgusting to drink out of the Kool-Aid Man. Especially when he busts through walls, he'd have a bit of drywall, he'd have like dust, debris, all sorts of stuff just floating inside of what's presumably his body. Similar thing with this dude, right? If we like took a clump out of him and drank it, that would be really gross, especially because he's like floating over the dirt. He's probably got like some floating around there. It'd be weird.
Water is pure. Water is clean. I clean.
Oh, okay, cool.
Wavebringer douses
Nice.
the diseased water spirit samples with ample amounts of pure water.
Earth spirits clean. Tell Mossback, heal brethren. I clean.
You know, you seemed a little bit more articulated whenever you were like messed up or diseased. So, did we actually like make him dumber by purifying him?
I thank you, living creature. My brethren, thank you.
It seems like his mental state has devolved to the point where he can only say I clean. Which, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I feel like we might have just ruined his life, even if he is happier that way. Oh, here's the oyster. Or clam. Yeah, it's the oyster. Clams and oysters. Both very similar, so it's easy to confuse them. Alright, take your time as long as it didn't crash. Please tell me you didn't crash game. Please. Come on. Please. 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 Please load. Please. Please? Is it one of... Okay, it's one of these situations.
Breaking your
There we
spirit
go.
will give me more pleasure than breaking your wand.
Okay, nice. We got it. Okay, so this dude's ice, so he's gonna have a lot of HP. How are we doing on these? We're doing fine. Doing okay. Alright, same strategy as before. As it will be for the remainder of the game, basically. Just wait and then hit. You know, I'm not complaining about the whole alpha hit strategy because I actually don't dislike it. I like big numbers and I like going fast and being efficient. But at the same time, you know, I kind of get what people are going at whenever they're complaining about it. I mean, I enjoy Unga Bunga play styles. You know, Unga Bunga me blade, Unga Bunga big hit type of caveman Wizard101. Right. I enjoy it. I enjoy it greatly. But yeah, I would definitely say that some sort of change wouldn't hurt the game a lot. Although then again, I have no idea how you would even implement that. The game is just too deep into it at this point to really go back. Or you'd have to be really smart about it. You need to hire some really smart people to figure out how to fix this. Alright. One judgment in Hideyoshi should be dealt with. Yeah, for sure. I thought I had those pips in that. In that case, though, yeah. He's dead for sure. This will do like over double his remaining HP.
Defeated, Hideyoshi crumples to the ground
it's Hideyoshi.
and fades. A demon emerges from his still form. It is the Plague Oni.
Yeah, so this is sort of a weird one. We're gonna replace Sandstorms with Spectral Blasts. Same idea, but he's just a bounce boss. And we are still incorporeal. That's a nice word. Incorporeal. It's one I don't think anybody actually uses very often, unironically. But it's a cool sounding one, I think. Oof. Judgment. Oh, that actually did nothing though. That's right, he still starts out with only one pip. It's weird how weak the bosses in Arc 1 actually are, where they start off with just one pip every time. I kind of forgot about that. You know, you get so used to seeing like 4 power pips at the start, every single time when you're a max level wizard. And even before that, sort of, when you're dealing with the, what is it, around Avalon, I'd say, is whenever they starting off with like 5 pips, I'd say. If I'm remembering correctly. And we have nothing. Okay. We just have to pass until we have enough power pips. Yeah, it's about there, but it's weird to remember that, yeah, way back in Arc 1, they just start with 1 pip every single time. Yeah, but now he also has a chance to get power pips, which is pretty cool. You know, he's using Judgment, he's getting power pips. They're getting up there. Of course, if I could get some power pips, this would not be nearly as bad as it's been going. Because I have a 56%, so I should be getting them more often than this. Well, it took a while, but we finally managed to get it. Hopefully it's not ice, so it at least has a chance of one-shotting the minion, and it fizzled. Okay, let's try that again. Oda and Hydra, come on. We are now full on pips. What are the odds of that? Because I think it halves every single time, so it'd be like 25 and then 12.5%. I don't know, I'm bad at math. So what would the odds of me getting, assuming it's 50-50, what would be the odds of me getting 6 white pips in a row? Assuming it halves every time, that is. I don't know, let's see. So the first time would be 50%, then 25, then 12.5, then 6.25, then 3 point something. Yeah, so would there only be like a 1% chance of that happening? I don't know, I'm terrible at math. Oh wow, that actually one-shot them. I wasn't expecting it to get the Plague Oni too. Nice. Very nice. And a life scope. This thing is actually a pretty cool pet. If only just because this is kind of a neat spell. It's more of a PvP thing, but I do like it. And I also think it looks cute. I remember leveling up one of these for Grub Guardian. It was the first life pet I actually really had access to. And Grub Guardian, you want a life pet, because life pets increase the damage per second of them, because it makes them attack faster. All of that little tips I just gave out though are completely useless, because poor Grub Guardian, it's just dead. It's like actually dead, and there's no indication besides that one single glass door or whatever job posting that the Atmoplex keeps posting about. I believe it was the Atmoplex anyways, mentioning it, where they want a web designer. So hopefully, maybe, please, work on Grub Guardian.
There came a time
I want
when
Grub
even
Guardian
the power
back.
of dragons was not enough, begins this volume. Neighboring clan leaders mastered magic of their own. They began fighting each other, and the power of the Emperor weakened. 3 clans controlled Mushu during this period, and though they are no longer as powerful as they once were, to this day they continue to influence the destiny of Mushu.
Interesting. Lots of history of dragons from Mushu. Also, this guy is the one I was mentioning before. He sells the very first crafted recipes. All of these drop from Lore Master, of course, and I would honestly recommend doing that, because frankly, none of these spells, let's say, are particularly worth it. Although these two, I would say you want to grind from their individual bosses. This guy from Shoji, this guy from Koto, I think his name was. Yeah, but as you can see, 12 Amber, 50 Sunstone, that is way too expensive. Just those alone, not even counting all the other ones. So yeah, let us get right back to what we were doing before. Take the Stout Porter, I guess? Yeah. Okay, nice. So that is this section of Mushu done. So, the fun little thing we can do here is Yoshida Temple, Village of Sorrow, Tree of Life, and that's it. Tree of Life, Village of Sorrow, and that's it. So yeah, that's the fun thing about these quests, is that they give you a very good idea of how much longer you have in a world. I never really brought that up before, I don't think.
Wizard, we are most grateful to you for defeating the Plague Oni. Merciful Muda, I never thought that water would be pure again. I feel like I need a serious vacation. Who knew the life of a monk could be so stressful?
Dude, you didn't do anything.
Please bring this vial of pure water to the High Monk Tan King within the Jade Palace. As for me, I shall ponder my life's direction.
Yeah, they really didn't hire the best guy for the job here. But, yeah, I never really brought that up, but that is a fun little thing to do. As for whether or not I can finish Mushu within the next hour and a half, that is a good question. I guess I just need to focus and see. Ooh, this little Ninja Pig statue is broken. That is so neat. Right after I say I need to focus and get on it, I immediately get distracted by a statue. Everything in this game is so neat, though. I'm sorry. Like those little planters, how they're made of bamboo, it's a nice touch, you know? There's so much to comment on this game.
Ah, a vial of pure water. It was a mistake to assume the waters would remain pure while His Imperial Majesty is ill. Thank you, Wizard. We have what we need to cure His Imperial Majesty's mind and spirit. But to heal his body, we will require fruit from the mystical tree of life. Just like the Oni-possessed warlord Katsumori and polluted the waters of Mushu, the Death Oni has twisted the tree of life. Even with all my wisdom, I can't prepare you for what you will face. I urge you to speak with Samurai Hideo Kebo, a regarded elder at Yoshihito Temple. He will be able to guide you to the tree of life. May the Muda watch over you.
Actually, hold on a second. Because my backpack is filling up with housing items like crazy. And my thing is full, so we're gonna do a really quick run over. We'll just get close to Yoshihito Temple, get where we need to go. And then we'll head to the bazaar, dump off all this garbage, go to our house, or I guess we'll go to our house first, dump it in the attic. Then we will jump over to Wizard City, sell this junk in the bazaar, and then we'll get right back to this. Maybe we'll beg in the comments for someone to teleport us to the Arcanum so we can buy more monstrous TCs too while we're at it. It'd be good to get. It would definitely be good to get. Because we are very close to being out. Although I guess I could ask one of them to teleport me over. Are you still here, EXE? Ting EXE, are you still here? If so, if not, we could just ask in the comments. But yeah. Just to grab our monstrous TCs while we're at it. So where's this guy? Speaking of neat looking areas, this is probably the most acidic one. Look at this completely red bamboo too, with the occasional yellow sprout. But then again, it's just bamboo. It's just more bamboo. Right? That's all Mushu is, just seemingly endless amounts of bamboo. Also, while we're here, might as well grab this, wherever it is. Where's the clam? Oyster. Oyster, it's an oyster. There it is. That's the oyster. Over here. Okay, so we'll grab that. Now we will go home. And dump this stuff in the attic. So, the reason why we're moving into the attic is I'm not entirely sure how and if I want to decorate a lot of this stuff. So, in my case, I'll just keep it around. Let's see. Our attic is full. We do still have a few left. But whatever. We'll just sell it off at the bazaar. We'll have plenty of room there. We might need to buy a second house specifically to dump housing items though. Which we can actually do now that I think about it. We can get the Royal Playhouse for that. It's relatively cheap, and it's got a lot of storage space. Yeah, we have enough gold. Easily. And it beats buying a house we would actually want. For storage space specifically. Alright. Time to buy our storage locker. That's the most apt way to describe them, I think. Thankfully, the game gives you access to 3 individual slots for it. For houses inherently. So it's not a big deal either. But we will sell stuff off at the bazaar first. Because otherwise we would have to walk back here unless we quit and then came back in. Which is a fun little thing you can do. If you teleport to your house, it actually saves your previous location. So if you quit immediately, it will actually resume right where you left off. That's something I do sometimes if I'm just like prepping for a stream or something, and I just wanted to move some stuff around my house, but also still be in the same spot I was before for the streams. That's what I'll do sometimes. Yeah, now we're starting to get to the point where just questing is going to start giving us a pretty decent amount of gold, actually. By the time we're done here, we'll have made all of the 15,000 gold we just spent back, presumably. That is no auction. Alright, we already did it. Now we're starting to see some really good profits. What is this? Why is this no trade? It's not even like unique. It's a bizarre. Where do I even get this thing? Oh, you can't tell from yourself. Okay. We want to keep that anyways. That's a nice stitch gear. No, we want to keep those ones. Those are also very nice for stitching. Okay, so we'll just sell these off too. Deck of the Augury, that can go. Deck of Chivalry, that can go. Artist Rational deck, that can't be sold, so whatever. And Watchman's deck, that can go. And Musical Scrolls, that can go. Seeds, these can go. The rest will only be fed to our pet. Okay, very nice. Now, this. The endless grind for Wizard101 efficiency for backpack space. Because while you can, hypothetically, pay for more, which, you know, I'm going to be honest. If you're going to pay to win a lot of stuff, the expand backpack elixir is pointless because, you know, you can just do this. Then again, if you never want to do this, that is honestly probably one of the best uses of money for something that's hypothetically useless, but still totally worth doing in my mind. Like I said before, I spent like almost $500 on this game at some point, and that was something that I did not really regret doing. Was just buying as many expand backpack, expand house, etc., elixirs as I could. Because it does save you so much time. Okay, there we go. There's all of our extra nonsense. Now I feed these seeds. You actually can get some pretty cool stuff from these seeds too. Experience is one, but occasionally you get some pretty good reagents from it too. Let's see. Alright, I never got all the paper pulp, so I'm probably never going to be able to get that thing. While we're here, we might as well accept these. Birthday hat, gazebo, might as well. Yeah, okay. We'll also just place these down really quick. Oh, disease mushrooms. Almost missed those ones. Birthday gazebo. We'll just... Will this block our path? Okay, cool, it will. And the cake. There we go. Nice. Okay, back to what we were doing before. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. It was kind of weird to see that pop up in my face. I was very surprised. But yeah, the King's Isle team will occasionally join for Beast Moon Hunt matches. Okay, so they're giving out the Ice Fairy for free this time. Okay, that's cool. I should maybe do that on my other wizard. I've never really touched anything like this on this wizard.
Greetings, wizard. You honor me with your presence. Your assistance is greatly appreciated. This temple is all that stands against Oni No Death's evil grip.
I'm too focused on making it through the story quickly. Maybe once we actually get to our shadow spells, we'll focus a little bit more on doing those sorts of things, but yeah.
I have faced the Death Oni many times,
Thank you.
but have never defeated it. This time, the Death Oni has fortified itself by the Tree of Life. With a powerful evil spirit, we could cross the cursed river that separates us from him. No evil spirit will go quietly, so we need a legendary spirit cage to control it. I wish there were another way. Believe me. I must work to free spirits from the control of the Death Oni. But you can go to the ancient burial grounds and retrieve a cage.
Okay, cool. So, we'll finally be able to do that quest as well. We are heading in the right direction. The arrow was just confused again. But while we're here, we might as well ask if they can put us over. Good. That's the advantage of having somebody who's at max level. And they're just hanging out in the dorm. Maybe they're AFK though. If not, we're, like I said before, we'll just have to ask around in the comments. But we do want to grab some more before we run out. Oh, and we also want to give ourselves more sandstorms. We do not want to forget about those. Because walking into a Spectral Blast... I mean, I guess we do have Hydra in hand too, so it wouldn't be too big of a deal, actually. Anyways, where are the side quests here? Because we know there are, though. We know we have them. So this is the Village of Sorrow, right? Oh, it's the Ancient Burial Grounds. Okay, so... Okay, there we go. What to say, it was kind of glitching out there. I was a bit concerned I lost connection. It's happened like 5 times to me, where I'm just like playing the game, and then I tried doing something, and then a few seconds pass, and then the infamous red chain appears in this little corner down here. And ever since that's happened so many times, I've started to get super paranoid, and anytime it freezes up on me even slightly, I immediately think, oh no, it's gonna crash. I mean, it'd certainly be cool to meet the King's Isle guys doing this stuff, but...
Greetings, young wizard. Magic shines from within you. You burn like the brightest beacon to these ghostly eyes. You are on a mission, are you not? From my descendant, Hideo Kabo, you seek the spirit cage. Do not wonder how I know. It is puzzling enough what brings me here after my death. The Death Oni has taken control of many in this graveyard. But if you've come to defeat him, I will help. In my time, 3 brothers possessed the spirit cage. Read the inscription on the grave of the eldest, and you may discover where to find the cage.
I seem to have forgotten myself. I don't know what I'm doing here. It's terrible.
Wait a minute, how am I muted? Oh, dang it. Or did I mute myself at some point and just forgot to unmute? Oh, that's so stupid. Oh, I feel like such an idiot. Oh, well, anyways. I was saying, I'm pretty sure I saw something hidden inside one of those alcoves before.
Spirits took it from me. If only I could see what was in it, I'd remember. Could you bring back the locket from the Death Soldiers for me?
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've had to beg in the comments for anything. That was nostalgic. Alright, anyways, where am I headed to? Right, the mantra. It's in here somewhere. And but I'm pretty sure I was remembering if it wasn't an oyster that this place has, it has to be maybe a furniture item or something that's hidden inside one of these little alcoves. Like that. Okay, it's this thing.
You write down the first part of the mantra.
We'll focus on the main quest first, I think. Oh, while we're at it, we might as well add these in. Ah, there we go. Completely replenished. I was kind of curious though. Okay, so that is a stitch. I was wondering why he was wearing that. Wait a minute, Road Fury set, what is that? Ooh. Interesting. 3% resist. Alright, so... it doesn't look like they have the 3-part set though. So 3 resist must be pretty good. What do they got? 26 on everything? Pretty good. Oh, that's in the Spellmental Robe Warriors pack. Okay. Nice. Yeah, I was kind of wondering why they were wearing the Dragoon's helmet.
The inscription is incomplete. Ah, clever even in death those brothers are. It is but the first part of a clue.
It's actually not a very common choice for stitching.
The second brother often went to the training dojo to meditate. Search the training dojo and you will no doubt find another clue to the spirit cage.
Gotta say though, I can appreciate that. Going for a little less common of a stitch rather than the super basic stitches that are normally taken over. Speaking of, I still have not figured out what stitch would go out this one, because the only one that would be pretty clear to me as a good one is the shadow design gear that was leaked in the data, but they still haven't added it into the game as far as I can tell. Most theories about it seem to say that it's going to be like an ether elemental drop or another one of those bosses like the Spirit of Ignorance. Some kind of skeleton key boss drop, probably. That's the most obvious stitch. But beyond that, I'm not really sure how you stitch shadow gear very well. Maybe that new boat farrier pack? Potentially. Still, I guess I need to buckle down, go through Wizard101 Central for another few hours and figure out what the best stitch gear would be. Because I already figured out what the best stat gear would be. I have it written down on a physical piece of paper somewhere. Although I lost it a while ago. I think it's in a drawer or something. Where it is. With that, I have that. But now I also need to look through every single picture of every single piece of gear and figure it out. That is what it takes in order to make sure you look good. Because you gotta look right when you're doing it. And same thing with this battle narwhal. We can't stitch mounts yet, so I'll have to give up some damage so I can ride that cool alien nebula mount. Because that's a proper shadow wizard mount, I think. Like, Look at how cool this thing is. It's got the right colors, it's got the right theme and vibe. Oh wait, was it in there? My bad, I wasn't really paying attention. Yeah, look at how cool that is. Love that thing. Okay, so I guess we have to fight these guys again unless we can just go around. Nope, we have to fight them again. Alright. Yeah, that was my bad. I thought we were supposed to just defeat them. Yeah, that protein bar I ate gave me a little bit of blood sugar or something. But it did not wake me up so much. It just calmed the thing in my stomach. I need to grab coffee if I'm gonna actually be able to think clearly about stuff and pay attention. But I will not. Partially because stream is gonna be ending in about 45 minutes. And we've been going for 3 hours pretty strong, I think. It's just a slight distraction, anyways. Alright, we actually managed to get it this time. So now we need to go talk to him again. A lot of back and forth going on. Yeah, but look at this thing. I really like the particle effects on it. If I had any one criticism of it, it's the fact that it's kind of obvious where it ends in terms of like the planes of it. Or like you can tell like where the canvas ended specifically, because you can kind of see, especially where it touches the ground, it gets like super squared out with the particle effects. So that's the only minor thing. But beyond that, I think this is one of the coolest mounts they ever released. Shame it was a one-time thing, or a limited time thing. I think they only did it for like the first 1,000 people, and then I think they gave out like 500 more. But I think after that, they're not giving out any more of these.
You were attacked. You're certainly scaring someone. We must be on the right track. The first two inscriptions make sense together. The portal to the spirit world. No one living can enter. A strong spirit must have stolen the spirit cage and taken it where it had no power. But how is it the brothers never told me about the loss? There must be more. A third inscription. A puzzle indeed. But perhaps the youngest brother often battled monsters at the back of this graveyard. Now, Tamauchi lurks there. Defeat him. Find the last inscription. I, eager to solve this puzzle.
Alright, let's go beat up this weirdly blue pig. I'm not entirely sure if that's because it's like a zombie or what. Like, some pigs are green, some pigs are blue, and there's not really a good explanation given. It was the fish. Yeah, it was fish. Okay. Oh, another side quest.
Ah, greetings, brave wizard. You have come a long way to find me. I'm afraid I'm poor company. For some reason, I cannot make myself leave here. I think I need cheering up. Would you please pick jade lotus flowers for me? They remind me of someone I once knew.
Are there any other side quests I'm missing? Mossback. Oh yeah, Mossback is in here too. And Mossback is everywhere. Alright, where are you? It says he's super close by. Oh, the Death Soldiers. Here they are. These are the guys we're supposed to be fighting. It must be so weird for Osbeck, just sitting there waiting to talk to us. As we beat up these guys right in front of him. Oh, we didn't get to lock it. Dang it.
Earth corrupted. Collect dirt samples in ground. Bring to me.
Okay, sure. He seems a bit upset about it too, so I'll be getting right on that. Okay, let's try this one more time. Or potentially more times. I'm not gonna give up after the single time. Come on, there we go. Yeah, I'm not gonna give up just because we don't get it the first 2 times. We'll have to keep going until we eventually get it. Okay. Pop that, pop that, pop that, pop that, pop that. It's funny. For as little I'm paying attention, it's kind of fun to just be able to mindlessly click on the cards like that. It's the one advantage of getting the muscle memory like that. Okay, we did not get it again. That is very disappointing. Alright, one more time. Blade. Alright, finally. 3rd time's a charm. Okay. What do you have to say?
Ah, yes. This locket is mine. I felt like a part of me was gone. Another part, I guess.
Matsuo manages to hold the locket in his ghostly hand, gazing down at the picture inside it.
I remember a lady, my Jade Lotus, who gave me this locket. I wooed her with flowers and poetry, but something changed. What was it? I must remember. Perhaps I wrote about what happened in my book of haiku. Those gloom fairies must have taken it with them. Please defeat them and bring it back to me.
What an artistic guy. He likes lockets, he likes poetry. Nice and sensitive. But yes, welcome. Welcome, Greenlightling Luigi. How are you doing? We are doing well so far, I think. We could be a little bit better with the luck on these defeat and collect quests, but overall this is going pretty well, I'd say. So we just need 1 and 2 Jade Lotuses. Oh, and here are the Gloom Fairies. Easy peasy. Yeah, I need to actually make my own peeking emote, now I'm thinking about it. Actually, I was going to cut it off at 4 hours, but I might cut it off in 10 minutes or so, because emotes are actually one of the main things I've been wanting to work on recently. I've been starting on them, I've been drawing them. I've been having a lot of difficulty drawing them, because I'm still not that good. But that means I just have to work harder. So I might call it a stream after these short collections of quests, now that I think about it. And get busy with that sort of stuff. Okay, that did not kill them. Thanks, weakness. Oh, that was another one. That's kind of embarrassing. You know, they're just a couple of little tiny fairies. Unfortunately, these are not the kind that you can easily, like, pluck out of the air and toss around easy. They're not bully. They're not fairies that you can bully very easily. They'll bully you instead. Like this. Bonk. Alright. For real this time. Die. For real. Please. Just die. Just die. Come on. Also, give me that thing. Before you die, throw that to me. Just like toss it over. The little haiku book thing. Okay. Perfect. It actually did it for us. Nice. We got 1 earth boil out of 8. Okay, that was a mistake. You know what we will do? We will just jump right back in and just ignore that ever happened. Okay. We don't have time to fight every single one of them, you know? We're putting our nose to the grindstone here. Grab this last one too. Alright. That does not have a marker, and she is over here. Great. I do like that you can still do that. They never patched it out of the game. It's a very convenient way to skip over through some battles. It doesn't always work, but when it does, it saves you a lot of time.
You found the Jade Lotus. A young man once brought them to me. Yes, I feel better already. Thank you, esteemed wizard.
Jade Lotus, and that guy mentioned a Jade Lotus. Anyways. Where's this dirt? Where's this dirt that he keeps mentioning? Okay, so we're mentioning in the... Yeah, so we're going in the right direction. The arrow's just a little confused again. It's doing its best. Okay, here's another pile of dirt. So yeah, I think we'll defeat Tamauji real quick. And then we'll see what time we're at.
The harmony in your heart is about to be disturbed, wizard.
Oh, you can't disturb the harmony in our heart. We've reached max Zen. Unfortunately for you. Wow, there's a lot of those mantras in here. We were told to come in here and look for the last of the 3, but there's actually 4 of them alone in here. 4 of them in here alone, that is. That's surprising. Yeah, I am both very tired, and I also want to get started on a few things. So, I believe after this fight with Tamauji, because it is also getting pretty late into the afternoon. It's starting to go from afternoon to evening. I will call it here. So I will start off by saying thank you again for the follow, Yuki Bloodborne Gaming. Thank you for the raid, Living Lovely today. Thank you for chatting with me, everyone, and thank you to the follow, Desho2091. Again, thank you. Thank you all for making this stream a very nice one. You know, today I think was especially a good stream. Did I get any more follows? Anything else? No. Okay, that was it today. But it's been a good one. And, well, we are going to be taking a bit of a break for Pirate 101. I might get around to finishing Wushu at some point in between those. And besides that, yeah, I had a good time. And I can't wait to get back to finish more Wizard 101 later. But I am looking forward to Pirate 101 too. So, once we learn the mantra. Okay, cool, we got it. Although, we could have learned it from any of those, apparently. That's confusing. Were they all 4 copies of the exact same mantra? That's a bit bizarre. Anyways, thank you to everyone who joined and chatted with me. It was a great time. And I will see you tomorrow, and I hope you all have a great day. Same time. Yeah, same time tomorrow. Goodbye.